Alrighty, we are back in the Sunless Sea. So the last time we were playing this, we had talked to the Cladary Air. We'd finally given her a live specimen, and she had let us know that apparently her mother had carved out something out of the bazaar and turned it into a ship, which she then said was in Adam's Way somewhere. So we are interested in seeing if we can get there. I believe somebody said that let's see if I can find them. Yeah, I believe somebody said, I can't seem to find them now, that the Cladary heirlooms, the resultant parts of her experiments, of her surgeries. So if we give her a prisoner, souvenirs, that's the one. Cladary souvenirs apparently are involved in that somehow, and so that we should try to collect as many of those as possible. Now it looks like at present she wants a long box, a prisoner. We had one, but unfortunately we traded that away. Oh, and a Blemigan. Do we have a Blemigan? I thought we picked one up from somewhere. Perhaps we have used that in some other location. So, whoops. We'll have to go pick up another Blemigan. I believe that was traded for a firkin of prisoner's honey. Oh, and a molliflower, apparently. Though evidently these are challenges, luck challenges, or hearts, and for the molliflower, pages. None of which we have terribly high. We do now know that we need all of our stats here to be over 100, 100 or over, so that we can get something from Irem in one of the dreams that will allow us to form ourselves a kingdom over in Iceville over here. The land with a bunch of sunlight. We just need to have something that'll take care of that sunlight, which we can apparently get from a dream in Irem, but we have to have all of our stats over 100 here. So that's probably a long ways away. I have a feeling we'll probably get to the Cladary ship before we end up doing that. I have a feeling that'll be a long, long ways away. Even if we do manage to get them raised by some events, I have a feeling we're going to have to spend a lot of secrets to do that. I mean, from this point, over 50 secrets to get all of these raised for each one, barring iron. And we've got 18 now. We don't make them too quickly. So he used a Blemigan for one of the other people's stories, the one with some illness. Ah, right. We used it in the story for the brisk campaigner. Let's see if we can find her. Yeah. So we used that in the first treatment for her, which was unsuccessful, apparently. The second treatment that she has requires a secret, 2 muter salt. We've only got one. 1 zoop, and 7 drowning pearls. Drowning pearls we know we can get from, I believe it's Fathom King's Hold, where the drownies live, but I forget the actual trade here. Let's see if that was noted down in like a shop trade. Yeah, I don't think that was noted down in any. I don't think there was a shop in Fathom King's Hold, or in Fathom King's Hold. I suppose it's not the Fathom King's Hold, but I do believe that there is a trade of some description there. So we'll have to go there and do that. Other than that, we still do need to get into the Khanate. We now have access via the. See if it shows up here. Nefrit ring. We now have access to the market. Unfortunately, the spy system, I think they are called the White and Golds, something like that. One of the clans that handle security is kind of suspicious of us. Maybe could be the fact that we insinuated a spy network into their system. So they're kind of right, but we do still need access to that market for all the romantic literature there. We've got a lot of people that require romantic literature. Foremost among them is the Presbyterian Adventuress, whom we need to deliver romantic literature to Abbey Rock in order to have them summon some great enemies so that our Presbyterian Adventuress can fight to the death. Not quite sure about that one. I still don't know who they are summoning to fight her. We also need it for the crotchety tobacconist. I think that is one of the last things we actually need for him to make his underwater cigar, something like that. And he's getting very impatient at us. I'm not actually sure if impatience rises while we're away from him. Hopefully, it does not. And we'll just be able to do that when we get to it. But we do need to deliver, I think, 20. Yeah, I believe 20 more Dark Drop coffee beans to the Khanate just to get enough favor to clear our name there. And then the last thing, let's see here. The last thing we need it for is the Merchant Venturer, who wants romantic literature just as a financial trade. You know, it'd just be good to have that, something crossed off the list. And I think that's just about it for reasons to get specifically the specifically those romantic literatures. Other than that, we can also just use them to trade. We can give that up just to have something to trade around. Now, if I recall correctly, we've actually still got, and I think I confirmed this by just looking through my hold here, quite a few port reports still to deliver, which we cannot because our cargo space is at 39. So we've got too much fuel as it stands. I think we'll do just a short voyage. We only have 6 supplies that we actually need to recruit more sailors, more zailors. So we'll do that first. We'll see if we can get one for cheap. Yep, perfect. And then should we set off with just that many? No, I think we'll grab some more here. It'll cost us 30 more echo, but actually, you know what? We could go to Demu Island and know if we have. Let's see. I think it's just something awaits us. In Demu Island, one of the workers will always volunteer to come aboard because they're sick and tired of living in the fungal forests over there, or whatever the fungus is around there. I think it's like a fungal forest logging camp type of thing. So we'll be able to get one there for basically no cost at all. Oh, right. The last time we were playing, Hunter's Keep has now burned down. We tried to get Phoebe out, who was in the tower. This time we actually went to there and tried to get her out. But unfortunately, we were unable to. We still do not know her fate. We're still not quite sure what happened to her. Other than that, yeah, we've still got a few things to do. We've got most of the map cleared. We've got just about all of it cleared. We've got a few big areas here, maybe along the furthest eastern edge. I don't know how much space this really is for islands and stuff. But I feel like we've got most of the locations unlocked. We know one specific location is underwater here. We've never managed to get over there with less than 50 fear. So maybe that's what we'll go for next time. This next voyage. Honestly, it's kind of far. I don't think we'd be able to make it all the way over there with the supplies we have now. Even with the vast amount of fuel, I don't think our our food supplies would be able to hold us out there, even on a skeleton crew like we've got now. Oh, and we picked up a sort of adventurer scholar type deal who wishes to go to the Empire of Hands for some reason. Not entirely sure why. but that is that. Now, I'm looking around my quests here. I really want to find something close by. That I can just take a quick zip up to and then come back from. So that I can burn off some of this fuel and maybe make some profit off that as well. What I might just do is take a quick trip to Hunter's Keep, Demu Island, and then back again. Just a really quick trip to go get some more zailors at a cheap price. And maybe what we end up doing. Yeah, I think we'll set off with that. That shouldn't cost us very much food, and it will definitely burn off some fuel for us. Before we go... right, the Brass Embassy. We now have access to this because we delivered the information from the... Oh, I want to say the Deviless in Mount Palmerston. We delivered some information from her, and apparently we had, like, a devil stuck in our throat or something, who provided a port report on Fallen London to these fellows. Evidently, they wish for port reports of here, crates of human souls, makes sense, and shipments of red honey, a firkin of red honey. Not sure what the other stuff here is, if there's anything else for us to do here. And I'm really not sure where we're getting port reports of Fallen London. We are in Fallen London now. But I've got no clue. I will repair our ship here. We've got plenty of Admiralty's favor. So we'll just pop our hull up to full. And I think we've already delivered most of our stuff here. We could trade in a vital intelligence, but I think I'd rather hold on to that. Oh, hold on a minute. No, I think I will hold up to that, at least one of them, just so that we have something. Right, we also, I believe we delivered one of the colors. Shoot, I can't remember exactly which one it was. Oh, actually, no, it's gone. Okay, so we definitely delivered one color, because there were previously 7 colors listed. Now we only have 6. So we did manage to get one of those delivered to the first curator. And we have a few more that we need to do. Oh, a lump of blue scintillic. Hold on a moment. This is another color. Blue scintillic is a... Yeah, that is a Pausian, I believe. Okay, so we have our first path. We will go up to Hunter's Keep, Debut Island, and then Venderbite. Then we'll head back down, just to deliver the color up here and to grab a Zailor over there. So let's quickly let's quickly do everything we can in Fallen London, I suppose. I believe, let's see, do we have a wound? I think we might have picked up a wound in Irem. I don't know if we ever cleared it. Can't seem to see it in our journal. I don't know exactly where it would be. But it may be worth visiting our lodgings here to rest. Yeah, I think I'll rest regardless. It's always nice to have a little bit of a terror reduction. I think we'll be good there. Honestly, with this much terror and this much fuel, we could actually make it over to wherever this is. I think we could, if we go from Demu Island, just head straight across here without making any stops. Or without making too many detours north or south. I think we could actually reach whatever this location is. Even with the amount of food. I think we could buy up food at Con Shadow if we really ended up getting low. So I think we might do that. We'll skip Hunter's Keep, we'll head to Venderbite, and then go straight across. Maybe we'll buy up some food at a little bit more cost than we really need to. Or we'll get some here. Yeah, we do have an extra cargo space at present. So let's go buy a single piece of food. Yeah, single piece of food. I'm very afraid that I'm forgetting to do something here. I don't want to completely waste our time here. But I think we're okay. We must have traded something in the Rose Garden because we no longer have access to that. So maybe that'll come back by the next time we're here. For now, though, we'll stop waffling. We'll set off. This also seems like that should be showing up a little bit more. I think that's a little bit bugged, but that's okay. I think that's just the letter that we have to deliver to Hideaway. We've still never found Hideaway. We have quite a few quests to do over there, none of which we've actually managed to get done because we don't know where the location is. Maybe that's the location of the Gant Pole. Maybe it's officially called Hideaway, but we do not know yet. And I know we said we wouldn't stop off at Hunter's Keep, but I'm just going to get the port report. We won't be able to search the grounds. Maybe we can't even get the port report. Okay, that's fine. We'll just head straight on out. These fellows, I'll just take on. We have to be very sure not to use our blue scintillic unnecessarily here. This will get us just a little bit more terror reduction. We're going to take what we can. Frickin' a prisoner's honey. That's actually really convenient, because now that we've lost that Blemigan, we can now get more over at the Utter Shroom, if we end up ever going there. And we will have another docile Blemigan, I believe. So that'll just be perfect. Another crab out there, I don't think we'll really go for it. At the moment, our terror is low enough that if we do come across it, we can go and try to attack it, but I don't think it'll reduce our terror all that much at this low point. Some bats up there as well that we won't try to interact with. Let's go talk to the first curator. Looky here, we've got a lump of blue scintillic. I really have no memory of receiving this. How strange. This was the Rat Star. Maybe we got it at Fathom King's Hold at some point. I do remember that we either currently or previously need to go there and talk to the king of some, for some reason. Could actually be for the one of our officers, maybe the Clattery Heir or something of that sort. But evidently we picked it up somewhere, so we'll go turn it in here so we don't have to do the chess piece instead. Let's go talk to the first curator here and give it your lump of blue scintillic. Oh, bright as waking. Cage frail fingers. The curator cups his hands over the lump of glowing coral. Its light you see now is masked with copper, but its fingers wither in the light. A curl of smoke rises, but it only clutches the coral tighter. The sea, it whispers, I smell the sea. You smell scorched dust, but here's your payment. And rubies of antique cut. The curator seems happy. Oh, we got a captivating treasure here. And we've lost our blue scintillic here. Well, we at least got a second color done. We've now got, let's see, Vieric, Violent, Irigo, Gant, and Cosmogon. Those are the only ones left. And considering one of the locations we know about, we'll depart here. One of the locations we know about is the Gant Pole. I would assume Gant would have something to do over here. Also, don't you need the prisoner's honey to expand your spy network. We may very well need that in Khan's Glory. Let me double check. I think I specifically wrote that down somewhere. Yeah, no clue. I can't seem to find it anywhere, though my notes here are unfortunately a little bit cluttered. I don't doubt that, though. We probably do need it in Khan's Glory to expand our spy network there, either there or in Port Carnelian. So we'll have that here. We'll stop off at Khan's Glory anyway. It's on the way to the Gant Pole. And we'll just do that. Oh, right. We should check around here while we are currently present. We'll grab the port report as well and see if we can find anything in Venderbite. The Carmine Chapel. The little chapel stands alone. You poke your head through the door. The walls are a deep red, just this side of scarlet. A ruby-tinted window at the back glows with a steady light. An electric lamp behind the glass. Rare and expensive, but this is no gaslight. No one is here, and yet you have the sensation that only a moment ago someone must have been. Yeah, no, I think this is going to be, judging by the unaccountably peckish, this has something to do with cannibalism. We'll go and search it for some fragments. Unfortunately, that gives us terror. Only one, though. And hungred. There is an altar, a block of basalt. There are pews, a pulpit, no Bibles, no hymn books. The stained glass window is the red of cochineal. An inscription on the lintel of the door reads, "For I was an hungred, and ye gave me meat. That is all. Your crew is eager to leave. No one looks back." Yeah, no kidding. Oh well, not an interesting one here. No interesting interactions. So we'll just head on out of Venderbite. I don't think we need to buy or sell anything. We might be able to sell this cask of mushroom wine, actually. Maybe we should. No, you know what? Because of the area we're at, let's see, Nook. We won't go there on the way across, but maybe on the way back, we can visit Nook. And Nook is the location, if you recall, that had like the giant gaping mouth where everybody was able to breathe. And apparently mushroom wine helps with the transition on breathing like that. And so I don't know exactly what happens when we lose all of our accustomed to the water or something like that, accustomed to breathing water. But I'd rather have the mushroom wine for when that happens anyway. So we might visit that on the way back. Probably not on the way over. Though honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I was thinking we would just head there and back, but that seems like a bit of a waste, don't you think? Could probably head down to Empire of Hands here, and then the other Utter Shroom across. And then Nook will be out of the way. So maybe we'll head there on the way there, just rather quickly. Yeah, I think that'll be what we'll do. But either way, we have to set out from port now. And so we'll set out into the Sunless Sea. We'll go and set these bats on fire with our cannon here, hopefully before they attack. There we go. That'll reduce our terror a little bit, somewhat. Go and grab that for supply. And I think our terror will even just about out. We've got enough fuel to keep our lights on this whole journey, I believe. Assuming, of course, we don't run into any nasties that we need to sneak around. Pier wall point. Okay, that's not a particular area of any distinguishment. Just another set of islands. Yeah, Lighthouse. Maybe I don't need the lights? No, I kind of feel that I do. Yeah, that lighthouse is really not going to keep us in the light for very long at all. Oh, there's a big old crab behind us. We could take it on. Oh no, we've started having recurring nightmares. I guess it was a good idea that we slept. Because now we have 2 restless nights. And which will help us fight the nightmares away. So these are the Bonnie Reefs. Oh, we're actually a little bit north of Demuth Island. We need to circle around down here. Terror is still going fine and dandy. We are not at all in any risk of having bad things happen when we go underwater yet. Hopefully. I mean, there could be some bad things that happen that are unrelated to the constant companion down there. But at the moment, we're doing all right. Speaking of doing all right, we are now at the Iron and Misery Co. funging station. So, let's go grab our fellow. We'll grab the port report too, and accept this volunteer. One of the company's Bulligus fellers has negotiated an early release from her contract. It's the Sproutling, she tells you, her face pleading. I keep picking them out of me porridge and me hair and me eyes. Take me away, I'm a good worker. Sure we will, for a single echo. Signing up, you pay the release fee to the factor and your new Zailer settles in. Ready to Zail now. Just about. We've now filled ourselves up. I think we now have 2. Yeah, 2 over what we need to crew the ship fully. Maybe 1. I think it was 3 that we started having problems crewing the ship with our we are clay modifier here. So we've got that done. We could gather supplies. Unfortunately, that may cost us terror. May or will cost us terror, so I don't think we will. We also won't buy any fuel or anything here, because it's very expensive. And we'll just set on out. Making sure to keep our light off when we don't need it. Though, maybe it's better to keep our lights on in situations where it would reduce terror, so that we don't have any terror when we go out to the deep sea, where our terror accumulates regardless. So, Nook should be a little bit south of us, yeah. So we'll need to turn the ship just slightly south in order to pass over it correctly. I think we should be able to submerge anywhere around it. It is a giant gaping hole, so it's not as though there's a mountain or anything, any sort of covering there. I think we'd be able to sail, to submerge across it. But it will do us well to do it a little bit before anyway. Yeah, our terror's still only at 21, so we're still doing fine on that. Doing absolutely fine. I might actually try to clear out this blank spot on the map here. Because I would like to have our map as clear as possible, just so we know that there's absolutely nothing that is in any of those dark zones. Anything important, like a really small island or something. And once we come across this, we can turn pretty much directly south here and submerge. Yep, perfect. If we head just about directly south, we'll probably submerge as soon as we get out of this, like, coral area that we're in. Oh, I guess there is obstructions. I swear this was, like, empty space. I guess it doesn't let you submerge over Nook for some reason or another. I guess it does look like there's sort of a mountain type thing going on there. So we'll go and dock. Now, Nook. We've got the cask of mushroom wine, so we should be okay. And effects of prolonged stays in Nook can be reduced in Igel, where memories are sacrificed. And Igel shouldn't be too far away from here. Oh wait, no, I was thinking of Antha. Igel is all the way down here. So that should be okay. I think we can also do something about that in Polythreme. Though maybe that's another connected location to one of the other kind of scary locations on the map. Let's go redescend into Nook here. A gap in this colossal Z monster's throat has been forced open with thick heart metal beams. They strain under the pressure but hold. As you pass through, your submarine lights pass over a message carved in the floating piece of some unfortunate's hull. Beyond is Nook, beyond is freedom, beyond is. The rest is scratched out. So let's return to Nook. You have the measure of the place now. You have learned that the liberal ingestion of wine before a visit increases your tolerance for Nook water. So let's go do that. Undressing for adventure. Again, you remove your clothes and put them safely in the watertight diving suit compartment. As the water rushes in, you feel you are ready. Taking gulps to speed the transition, it feels less like drowning now and more like baptism. You swim into Nook, with skin and mind tingling, reborn in the airlock's cold steel. The beast quivers with distaste at your trespass. Considering there's a whole civilization living in his mouth, and it's also held open with like metal beams, I don't think I'm the most of its problems here. And apparently, our tolerance is now 5. So I think we'll go grab the port report, right? Last time we swam upwards and we adventured around there. We'll go grab a port report pretty handily here, just to have one. No one here has anything to hide. Actually, no one here is hiding anything at all. Notes on Nook. A vile place, festering, acidic, no laws but those of tooth and claw written in scars. Civilization impossible, making tea would be a logistical nightmare. Yet the inhabitants seem content. Many have come here from London, from the Connate, the Presbyterate, abandoning cultured life for this tenuous existence. They grin, their mouths full of stolen flesh, or float naked and carefree. Many have nothing and nothing to lose. A group of swimmers darts past, hunting gleefully. One squeezes your shoulder companionably. You've never met her before. Okay, and we've lost ourselves a tolerance here. We've only got 4. Going between the levels may take up 1. But we'll just immediately head downwards here, just so we can check everything out. We already swam upwards the last time we were here, so let's swim downwards to the serrated abyss. Down here, the water is cloudy, its green streaked by dissipating patches of coppery red. Only a few teeth still protrude from the walls. Instead, razor-sharp hairs line them, rippling gently in the current. Oh. So we can trade solace fruit for phosphorescent nodules. They will be a rare treat for the Nook folk. We can sample some Nookweed. A circle of Nook folk scrape what looks like a thin algae from the smaller teeth and chew it like snuff. Their eyes flutter, then bulge, brimming with visions. We've got a 36% chance for success. Apparently, Nook, a taste of freedom. Probably just the desire to stay here for some reason. Oh, and there's actually even more further below us. I think we'll do this, trade for the phosphorescent nodules, and then we'll head even further downwards here. Sweetness and light. As expected, the Nook folk flock to take all the fruit you have to offer. They freely give up their nodules for a taste of the delightful juice. And now we have 20 Nook phosphorescent nodules. Glow softly enough to light your way in Nook. Oh, I see. So this is actually a like a flashlight sort of deal. We have something to light our way here, which I guess the lower you go, the more it will become important here. Let's swim even further downwards to the bilious cleft. Oh, and I don't think we're actually using up our tolerance for Nook water, so few Nook folk swim this deep, where the water is foggier than a London pea souper. Foul gas bubbles up from the beast's gut, acidic enough to sting your eyes. We can either swim back up, look for phosphorescent nodules. We have them, though. We could intimidate folks for it, though we'd need memories of Nook apparently to do that. Interesting. Or head even further down. Since there's nothing else to do here, I guess we should head further down. We still have the 3 tolerance for Nook water here, so down the writhing gullet. This beast is at least centuries old. Its stomach passages are a labyrinth. Who knows what might be lodged in there? Descend deeper. The writhing gullet. You swim through a foul labyrinth of passages and intestines. Your eyes sting with every stroke. The water grows ever more bilious. I have no idea what bilious means. This will require increasing numbers of phosphorescent nodules. You may encounter different things on different trips, but can only collect 1 treasure per dive. It may give us wounds. We can't go any further than 7. We're currently at level 1, and we've got 20 phosphorescent nodules. If we get a single wound, I'll head back up. Chaotic Isma says, howdy, hello. I think we'll keep swimming down the gullet here. Anything could have found its way down in here, or anyone. Down, down. Festering bubbles burst against your skin. Every kick and stroke is a struggle. We've lost 2. Oh, and we lost 1 of our tolerance for Nook water here. So, something glimmers in the darkness. We've got either a 68 or 34% chance of getting this. One of those is good, one of those is only okay. I suppose we might as well try this out. Something glimmers in the darkness. A brass handle on a casket. You aren't very deep. Why hasn't someone already claimed it? Let's give it a shot. A trap. Ooh. The coffin is embedded hard in the wall between teeth and stiff probing hairs. The hairs coil around your arm as you pull at your prize, raising blistering welts in your skin. Behind you, a grinning ambusher swims forward, a bone claw nestled between thumb and forefinger. You heave yourself free of the hairs, leaving skin and blood behind, and make your escape. Dang, okay, we got a wound. We'll call that good. We'll call it there. Well, we know that's a trap for some reason. We'll go and give up and head back up. Leave the writhing gullet. This has gone deep enough. You can return later. Okay, so let's just swim up and up and up. Could sample some nookweed. Maybe. It seems like it gives visions. We've got a 30% chance. No, actually, we only have tolerance 1 left, so I think we're going to swim all the way up to return to the submarine here. Well, that was an interesting trip down to Nook. Let's go and return. Better not leave the crew waiting too long. And dock at the not dock. Climb aboard the submarine. You swim into the airlock and alert the crew. Air flows in. You retch the last of the Nook water from your lungs. Return to the crew. Air again. How refreshing. Okay. Unlock with Nook. A taste of freedom. No more than 9. You have 6. Interesting. So I guess if we get to 9, that's when we're probably going to have to go to Igel to get rid of that. The crew salutes as you pass. Good. All is well. Anything that happened in Nook shall remain in Nook. Shall we buy anything here? Fuel is very cheap. Have I written this down? I guess I don't really come to Nook all that often, is the thing. Yeah, no, I have written this down. We might get quite a bit of fuel here. Supplies are actually exactly as pricey as in Fallen London, too. So maybe we'll just fully resupply here, I suppose. I think supplies will only take up to 8, maybe 9. I don't think we need any more than that. I'm much more concerned with our fuel situation. So we'll get 2 of those and then buy the rest of our cargo space in fuel. Because we're really not consuming that many supplies for any reason. And we'll leave 1 empty, just in order to have some space. But our Nook adventure is complete. I don't think we gained any terror, actually. We're still only at 23, so we're still doing fine in order to submerge in the Gant Pole, or near there, wherever that will eventually be. We'll just go and immediately surface here, because I do not like the Z floor in terms of terror and whatnot. Not a very nice place. So, next stop we can make is Nuncio. I don't think we'll spend any time there doing much of anything. Maybe we'll have a drink to reduce our terror a little bit. We're not at a super high amount of terror, but it's never a bad idea to reduce your terror as far as you can go. We'll go and sail for this lamp, too. Hopefully... Now we're not going to get there before our terror rolls over. That's okay. The Finknodle Vortex. Ooh, and a ship. Rat ship. And he's got 130 health, so not irredeemably high. He's also swum into, or sailed into that vortex. Not sure about that decision there. No interesting shopping to be done. I don't think I will do much here. We might explore along the beach. Probably nothing else. Let's assemble a port report here. Those who live here deserve better justification in the eyes of the world. The Admiralty won't understand, but you do your best to explain it all anyway. The theology of postal work, the pull, the scarred obedience of postmen, the attention to detail that is both petty and sacred, the anguish, the camaraderie among the sufferers, the willingness to endure their visitors, even visitors who do not understand their tribulations and ask foolish, ill-informed questions. Oh, we actually gained a memory of distant shores. We have worked here. We do understand the pull now that we've gone down to the very bottom of that pit. I think we'll go to the Postman's Tavern first. Inky Blotter it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. Perhaps we'll just trade war stories about your shift work here. I think that should reduce our terror a little bit. Maybe not. The common ground, the parcels you've weighed and entered in logbooks, the things that oozed out of them. The postmen are delighted by your incredulity and shock, a civilian finally understanding the full horror of the post. They have stories even worse than those. Let me tell you. Hang on a moment. It's Postmaster Scritch. We've all heard your rubbery lumps story already. It's nothing compared to the tomb colony pickles. Pickled what is what I want to know. What about that Sooth and Cooper crate and how we had to scrape bits off the masonry? Do you remember? The night runs late. Okay, so apparently that only gets us friendship with the folks there. So we'll go and explore along the beach with our something awaits us instead. There's a long stretch of shale dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Shifty going. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. So we can go rescue another cat. I think it'll scratch us, unfortunately. But it, maybe it's worthwhile. We'll do it because it's the right thing to do, not because it's advantageous to us. Nuncio Beach. Every lap of the wave drags up some new letter or parcel. The face of the water is dotted by them, as far as you can see in this blackness carried by a powerful current. Ow, the parcel's contents are not at all pleased to make your acquaintance. A yellow glare, a flash of claws, a distinctive odor. Then the horrible animal is out of sight. You'd like to believe it will come to regret mauling you, but alas, it's likely to regard this rat-infested island as a paradise. Your left cheek will never quite be the same again. Gained five terror for that, really? Come on, it's just a cat. I mean, it's an angry cat, but, Oh, well. I don't think we'll spend any more time here. We won't collect any letters, any material for the dead letter office. And we'll just set out here. We'll stop off at, I think it's Khan's Heart, where we have our spy network. So we'll go there first. We don't, unfortunately, have any deliveries for Khan's Glory. We didn't pick up any Dark Drop coffee beans, mostly because it would have been very expensive for the places that we have been to get it. Oh, the ship's really trying to pull out of that vortex. Maybe he's going to succeed. He's kind of getting out of there. We've reached the Khanate. So let's go and say hello to everybody here. Mostly our spy network, now that we've got that frickin' prisoner's honey. So. Khan's Heart, London's rival, an oasis of light in the salt black wastes. Salt is not black. Canals thread the painted city, street lamps glow, and water taxis putter. Let us go and fulfill our spy's needs. Here is the prisoner's honey that you were so requesting. Khan's Heart is a darkly gleaming miracle of a city, but it's no paradise. Someone is looking for paradise. There you go. A peerless taste. Your Kaganian dupe knows the taste of honey now. They know what it is like to walk in dream palaces and rapture gardens. They'll never be free of you. And so we've got a few spies now. Can we do anything with the few spies? We're not going to do that port report since it's still only... It's less than a 50% option here. Let's see if we can do anything else for our spies. So we can bait with our vital intelligence to catch a rat, presumably another spy network here. Or we can try it with our veils, which is only a 42% chance. I think we'll actually give up our vital intelligence just to see what we can catch here. So let's bait. Use a mouse to catch a rat. Boldness rewarded. The white and gold snap up your bait. Their spy catcher is too eager in pursuing more. You pass implausible nonsense, he's hooked. Alright, we've got a respectable network now in Khan's Heart. Can you please remove my, my suspicion here, please? Like, that would just be fantastic. Let's just keep doing this until we can't do any more. Alright. Well, unfortunately, I don't think this is a challenge that'll go off successfully. This will probably reduce our spy network if failed, and I'm apparently not that cunning. So, we'll not do that. I don't really think that we'll do anything else here. We can't access the quarter. Unfortunately, we have too much Kaganian suspicion, and we can't reduce that quite yet. I'm really sad you can't use your spy network to reduce suspicion in any way. You'd think that having a spy network in a location like this would be able to have you influence the houses more than just gathering intelligence, presumably, which would be, vital intelligence or something like that. So, oh well. That's all right. We'll just go and head out. No port report or anything, that's fine. We are not primarily going to this location for that purpose anyway. We are instead going to the Gant Pole, and whatever that happens to be. We will stop off at the Khan Shadow, just because it's not very far out of the way. We've got the Terror to spare, and we have a port report we can collect there. Oops, not as far down as I thought it was. There we go. Further east, not as far south. So let's go and dock here. Khan's Shadow, what do you have for us? The city that swam. Nothing. Why nothing? Oh, you know, we don't have any, we don't have a something awaits us here. Okay, that would be why. So we could buy more outlandish artifacts here. Kind of expensive. We could get an empty mirror catch box. But that is an illicit good. And we could sell our captivating treasure or buy another one. Buying is definitely not the better option here. And we don't yet have an aft slot, so we can't get this mile breaker instead. I don't think we'll get anything. Maybe we should get the mirror catch box, because we do know that there's that island covered in sunlight. And I would assume we'd be able to get sun there, but I don't have a hidden cargo space if we end up arriving in London with a full one. We could, I suppose, after going to Eisteval and the Empire of Hands, head across to Guider's Morn up here. It's not too far out of the way. Oh, shoot. What did the king in Polythreme want? I think he wanted... Oh, shoot. What was it? I think he wanted something we could get from Irem. Let me check the Irem sale page. I'm sure that I'll figure out what it was. Yeah, Watchful Curio, to have contact with the king of that. So after going underwater, we might take a quick detour to Irem. We don't have Dark Drop Coffee Bean to go and spend any time in the dream, but I think that's okay. We've already got one wound. I really don't want to aggravate that with another, especially since a third wound will kill us outright. 34 of 40. I will buy this empty mirror catch box, I think. We'll just have it. If we can get sunlight at the, what is it, Eisteval or whatever it was, the island with sunlight, we will. We'll go deposit that at Guider's Morn. If not, then, you know, we'll just have it for whatever purposes it may serve. Let's go pick one up. Other than that, I think that's all we're doing here at Khan's Shadow. So we'll go and head slightly north to the Gant Pole. We'll have to keep our eye out for ships and whatnot, because I do believe that the figurehead, sorry, not the figurehead, the actual ship, the Eater of something, the legendary ship that's been popping up, has been sighted around here before on our voyages here. So somewhere around the Chelonid, I think, is where it kind of roams. And speaking of the Chelonid, we're here. And terror is still only at 32, so we're doing all right. Hopefully we won't find anything unfortunate here in Shabelport. But there's the odd chance that it'll raise our terror. We'll just try to steer clear of those events. Right, we still have the hunting trophy. Oh, and you know what? The Clattery Air actually requires a... long box here. And we can get a long box at the Shepherd Isles, I believe. We can trade a long box, a hunting trophy for the long box. So we actually now have another method to get a Clattery souvenir. Perfect. Let's see, we're not talking about her father yet because we do really want to find this Clattery heart. I think we already asked her this. And she told us it was at Adam's Way, so we won't ask again just in case it brings up something unfortunate. We will not do shore-leaved either. We'd grab a doomed monster hunter with our captivating treasure here. That could actually be a good option. Oh yeah, I think if you go down the father story path with Clattery Air, you only need 7 Clattery souvenirs to get access, or to guarantee success. Interesting. Or 7 Clattery souvenirs to gain success, or guarantee success. Okay, that is good to know. I don't want to lose the opportunity to grab the Clattery heart, though. It would be very nice to get a ship for essentially free. That would be nice. I don't know if I want to obtain this doomed monster hunter, though, for a captivating treasure. We have been picking him up places. I think we got this one from the first curator, but I don't know what a doomed monster hunter is. Like, I don't know how this works out. We already passed one captivating treasure down the line as an heirloom. We could send the second one as one, but I really want to know what a doomed monster hunter is, because there have been several doomed monster hunters that we've seen for different trade reasons in different locations, and I really like, if they're just a crew member, that would just suck. It would suck if I had to trade a captivating treasure and we just get another crew member. If they are something special, though, that would be possibly worthwhile. The Challenet is stiff with monster hunters awash with the pelican juices that give them strength. A good number of them are doomed too, but you need to provide for their families. Pelican. Isn't that one of our colors here as well? Violent, Beric, here we go, Gant, Cosmogon. Okay, maybe not. Maybe Pelican is one of the ones we already got. Yeah, no, I don't see Pelican anywhere. For some reason, the word itself seems familiar to me, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's sort of rare, but I think I will. I think I'll go obtain this doomed monster hunter here. But you'll need to provide for their families too. I really don't know what this means. Oh man. I would do it if I knew it was a good trade, but I have no idea at this point. Yeah, dang. Dang Kistendrat. Okay, let's leave that for later. We're not here for this primarily. We set sail for this location, and that is the location we'll go. So we'll go and submerge as soon as we head out of Shovelport here, because it does look like it's right alongside it, whatever it is. Yeah, so as expected, there is something here. Thanks for all the fish. Oh, interesting. Not sure what that achievement was from. But we've reached the Gant Pole now, where the Z goes to die. The submarine surfaces in a pocket of air in the middle of a giant stone heart. You are not the only new arrival. A midnight whale lies mortally wounded on a small beach of bone and blubber, moaning softly. An elderly woman in ragged red robes is carving its flesh, attended by a few disciples. Oh, okay then. Well, it's the only thing we can do, so let's approach the woman in red. Her hands move with expert, if incomprehensible, precision. A demonstration of haruspicy. Haruspicy, the art of divination through entrails. Not the most pleasant or reliable way of seeing the future, especially with the organs in question still warm and oozing as she plucks them from the great beast. Whatever she is looking for, the focus it demands exhausts her. A sudden sound, rumbling from the tunnels, the ventricles, the sound of a stampede. A cry of protect the mistress as a flood of naked old men and women wielding primitive bone harpoons charges towards the whale. Old zailors fixated on one goal, feast on the Z flesh, whether the Haruspec is finished or not. The Haruspec fades a little more. The flesh reveals all. So the Haruspec must be the old woman. I wonder what she's looking for. And I wonder what the old men and women are doing here. This must be the equivalent in the Khanate or the Challenet of the tomb colonies of Venderbite, something like that, where old people come to die, considering there is no... As far as I can tell from the lore of this, there is no way of dying, or like dying is very specific and weird in the Neath. So yeah, how very, very strange. So what should we do? I think we'll defend the fading Haruspec here. She seems like she has some sort of knowledge, even if we don't understand exactly why. And the zailors that are charging her seem like they are just guided purely by instinct or something of that sort. So let's defend the fading Haruspec. These zailors look old enough to collapse at a slight breeze. A rancid rout. You stride into the melee. The Haruspec and her disciples are outnumbered, but your contribution to the fray is worth at least 10 of the elderly attackers. Their harpoons barely leave a scratch. Wrenching one from the nearest attacker, you easily hold the geriatric horde back, but with little but pointed gestures. The Haruspec returns to her work. From the corner of your eye, you see a little of the method behind it. Just a little, but enough to see the traces of a pattern within the grooves of a small ivory slate. Wheels turn within wheels. A king yearns for your hand. She frowns unsatisfied. The whale moans its last as she finishes up. Her work done, she thanks you with a nod and has her people allow the old zailors to approach the slowly cooling carcass. Hunt phthalates, behemostaches, beloveds, or tristeligants to bring more beasts to the Gant Pole. You are learning the ways of Hearthstick. Interesting. Okay, then. And now we have access to the Gant Pole. So the leathery carcasses of hollowed-out beasts line the ventricles of the stone heart. Ancient blubber bubbles up around paths of bone and hide that squelch with every step. A distant drip carves eternity into hours. Let's go compile a port report here. The Admiralty is unlikely to take it seriously. That's not the first place we've delivered a port report of that the Admiralty is no interest in. The Gant Pole. That favored hazing method of many a veteran zailor, saved for particularly wet behind the ears recruits. Ask your captain to deliver this to the Gant Pole. Go to the Gant Pole and find my pocket watch. Tell the crew tonight we dined at the Gant Pole. A hilarious jape when not standing in the blasted place and hoping someone will pay for recent news from it. Okay, so apparently this is a place of myth, or a place of common knowledge, but not common visitation. Now, evidently we can cut some flesh here for the Chelanet. The carcass of the last beast to expire in this place still has plenty of meat hanging from its bones. And that would unlock us a trade in flesh and give us a barrel of rancid flesh, which I do believe they pay for in the Chelanet. See if we can see for how much. Well, it's not in the market, that's for sure. So maybe it's a event here. We'll save that for after we talk to the fading Hearthsticks here. Let's speak with the fading Hearthstick. She sits in a ghoulish tent made of the bone and hide of long dead beasts, saving her energy for the next great behemoth to reach its grisly end. She sits with her eyes closed. A pair of disciples are wielding damp sponges, doing their best to moisten her cracked, bone-dry skin. Her fingernails have not been cut in decades. They rattle as she beckons you forward. So. Oh, right. We can ask about the sixth witness. I believe we encountered her in the Chelanet, and she told us to come here. But I think we'll ask about her and Hearthstick before we do any of that. Ask about her. How long has she been down here? The passage of time. 10 years? 100 years? 1,000? It is all the same after a while. The flesh keeps the body together. The mind, well, that is a trickier matter. I have coped. Others have not. You have seen them. The oldest of the zailors with no warm bed and loving family calling them to shore. They are as much creatures of the sea as any that swim in it. The heart welcomes them, and they embrace it. It is their fate. I see a far more important one in your future. Oh, why, thank you. I do indeed have a very important fate. It's probably to be eaten at sea by a monster, or to be mutinied upon by my crew. If any of my previous captain's fates have been anything to go by. But thank you very much for thinking about me. Let's ask about the art of Hearthstick. What does she see in the bodies of the dead? The nearly dead, she corrects. There is nothing to be predicted from meat but the quality of one's dinner. A wheezing laugh escapes her lungs. In Babylon, the quivering livers of 100 sheep showed us the fate of the first. In Rome, had Caesar only asked the right questions. With the right question. It is the life that leads to answers, not the meat. Down here, centuries of life, so many secrets. But the great beasts of the sea pass on so rarely. I cannot hold on much longer in the hope of finding what I seek. So we've got a sort of quest, and I want to do this. This is similar to me, at least in narrative seeming, as the first curator. So I'm actually going to note this down as a quest. So the Fading Hearthsticks is asking us to bring, or it's asking us to hunt phthalates, behemostaches, beloveds, or or Tristeligance. Triskeligance. And bring them to the Gant pole. Now, the only one that I know for sure I have seen is the Behemothstashes, and they are a 200 health fish that has definitely carved us up before. That was what killed our previous captain and sister of our current character, Madame Sir Helga. So these all seem like very endgame beasts. For now, though, I think... I don't know if we'll boost our apprenticeship with our recent news. Recent news is kind of a valuable option to have out here. Especially should we go to, I believe, Adam's Way. That's one of the few things that actually lets us into Adam's Way. So we'll keep that. But instead, we'll ask about the traveler here. This must be the person, the sixth witness meant for you to meet. A matter for later. The fading Haruspex shakes her head. I have seen nothing of this, but nor have I asked. If I have it in me, once I have my answer, I will attempt the divination. You'll have the opportunity to find the sixth witness's answer later on. So we just need to wait for that to happen here. And we'll leave her alone. This is a very, very old lady who seems very tired, so we'll let her alone for now. No more questions for now. The effort of answering is exhausting her. She nods gratefully. You take your leave. She slips into a silent torpor. I suppose we'll grab some flesh for the Chelonet. We might as well. The carcass of the last beast to expire in this place still has plenty of meat hanging from its bones. Pickled and pungent, your crew would face starvation 100 times before adding this still quivering mass of gluttonous blubber to the supplies. To the Chelonet, however, it probably counts as haute cuisine. So we've got that. Oh, and looky here. We've actually got a shop. I really did not expect that in this very primal place. But we do actually have a shop resource here, so we are at the Gant pole. They sell carboys of primordial shrieks, which they buy in the Chelonet for sure. They sell those for I before E, except after C, except for a considerable number of words that don't follow that rule. But unfortunately, shriek is one of them. S-H-R-I-E-K. And they sell those for a firkin of prisoner's honey. They also sell fuel at a very reasonable cost. Wow, I did not expect that. Fuel and supplies both, actually. So they sell fuel at 12 Echo and can sell for 1. And they sell supplies at 18 Echo. Actually cheaper than in Fallen London. This is the same price we get at Port Carnelian, which is one of the cheaper places. And sell for 2. How lovely. Ah, and the Portentium. Okay. Whoa. Ooh. Oh no, just the image of the spider creeped me out so much right there. Oh my god. Okay. We'll just write it down. Live specimens. They will buy for 7 strange catches. The Heart of the Tree of Ages. We're not going to look at that picture at all. They sell for 1 Colossal Flute Core. A Harlot Fry. Some sort of snake, it seems. Harlot Fry. They sell for 10 hunting trophies. That's actually really good. It's a really good way of getting hunting trophies for absolutely sure. Then last but not least, we can buy Stygian Ivory here. We can buy that for 3 Tales of Terror. And not sell. Well, we'll sell it for nothing if we really needed to get rid of Tales of Terror. Or a Stygian Ivory, rather, for no reason. That's actually fascinating. Maybe we should stock up on fuel here. This is actually a fantastic location, because at the far side of the map here, there's generally very few locations where you can get fuel and supplies for a cheap price. I'm not too worried about supply right now. I would be much more worried about fuel. So I think we might buy our way up to full here. In terms of fuel, we'll get another 9 so we can keep sailing around the sea. Maybe we'll buy 1 supply. 1 or 2. Let's do that first, and then we'll the rest in fuel. Take the rest of that there. And I think that's just about everything we can do here. Unless we wish to speak to the Fading Harspec some more, but I think we will leave her to rest. But now we know where the Gant Pole is. The Gant Pole, same location. We'll go quickly down to the Chelinet, then up to Irem, where we'll get a Watchful Curio for a secret. And then we'll sail down to Iceville, see if we can fill up our mirror catch box, then Polythreme to drop off that Watchful Curio, then the Empire of Hands. Following that, we might go to the Udder Shroom just to head across here, clear out this darkened location. We might touch on the wreck of the Nocturne. As creepy as it is now, there's shivers running down my spine just even thinking of going back to that place, but I have to do it eventually. It's where we get Spider Silk. Then to the Melting Isles, perhaps. Or we could adventure around here, see if there's anything else at King Ear's castle or around it to do. We should also recall that we do have to go to Port Carnelian to find somebody that has been had something done to them, a specific character, either for Adam's Way or for Varkas. I forget actually as to which of those is the important. Which of those had that quest for us? I suppose I could look it up here. Yes, Adam's Way. We have to go to Port Carnelian and capture a Thief of Faces to deliver to Adam's Way. So maybe we'll do that before heading back. We'll see how our terror is doing by the time we get there. But either way, we're done with the Gant Pole here. We'll go and head out and surface here as soon as we can. As we get blown in the currents toward whatever that is. Hopefully we'll surface long before that happens. Yeah, we will. Alright, perfect. Ooh, there's a fluke spore. Those have tons of health. Not even going to try to touch that. So we'll head over to Shovelport. We'll go drop off that rotten flesh. Yeah, here it is. The barrel of rancid flesh. See what we get for it. Supply the redolent flesh merchant. It's only 1 barrel, but it's a very large barrel. Lighthouse. Is that delicious with a lisp? Delicious? Yeah, I guess it would be. The redolent flesh merchant dips a finger into the quivering blubber and tastes it with shivering enjoyment. He pays you and gets to work selling it by the cupful. It is impossible to tell if the Chelinet prefer it to their customary diet of rancid turtle meat, but it is at least a different flavor of terrible. His customers are licking their lips when the barrel is drained to the last oily drop. We got 200 echo for that. Oh, I see. So that was his request for meath from the Gant Pole. Okay. Well, we know we can make a very quick profit off of that. What did we trade to get that? I think we just had to see her chop up that whale. So we may not be able to do that every time we go there. We'll still not obtain that doomed monster hunter. I think we'll actually just pass this captivating treasure down until at least until we know that the doomed monster hunter is a good pickup here. Other than that, I think we're not going to touch it. Now to Irem. Hopefully we can avoid this fluke core. Or the thorned fluke, or whatever it is. Ooh, there it is, right in front of us. Yeah, let's see if that comes in. Oh, has he seen us? Lorn fluke, that's the one. Okay, we'll just sail with our lights off. Yeah, he hasn't noticed us. So the Lord Fluke, I could be reading... Ooh, is he turned towards us? No, we're good. I could be reading too much into the design of the monster there. But that actually looks exactly like what is present at... Eigel? Antha? I think it's Eigel. Because there is the whole needle, like, object encompassing that area, and that they have kind of formed a pseudo-religion, pseudo-cult around. Yeah, so that very much seems like a large Lorn fluke that has kind of grown into that. Very strange indeed. We're a little far east for Irem. The docks are actually here. We've actually also got no idea. There was not a wall, a set of land on the eastern side as I expected there to be. I wonder what happens if we sail off of that. I won't, mostly because I don't have the zailors or the will to possibly risk my captain here to a negative event, what might happen if we do that. But now that we're in Irem, we are just here primarily for this Watchful Curio. Could buy another Sooth and Cooper long box, but we already have a way to get that in... I want to say Shepherd Isles. That's the one. Could buy a Strange Catch. I think we won't. But it'll be a good location should we need any more. Won't be buying supplies or fuel, that's for sure. They cost the same as outside Fallen London proper. So neither of them are very good trade. I don't think we need to trade any of our objects here. Got lots of memories of distant shores. So we could buy some Tales of Terror, but I don't know that Tales of Terror are the best investment anyway. That said, Memories of Distant Shores aren't the best investment either. I think we're probably adequate for all of them. So we will just buy, probably not a Lamentable Relic, at least the Watchful Curio. And we will set back off here. I'm amazed we can't even make the port report. Perhaps we never turned our port report from Irem in the first place, because we did save some port reports previously. Just looking here. Yeah, we did save the port report from Irem from the last time we were here because we didn't have enough capacity to get our fuel stores topped off. We just ran out of cargo space. One of the very unfortunate things about the ship that I hope to remedy by either getting the Clattery Heart, I think is the name of the ship, or the merchant ship. I forget exactly what that was called. The ferry ship, which has 120 capacity in the hold, which I would love to have. That would be fantastic, even though it doesn't have a forward weapon slot. For now, though, simple Watchful Curio for a secret. We've got plenty of secrets. Well, plenty enough. And with that, we will set out. Back to Eisteval or Polythreme. I think Eisteval is probably the better option. We'll see where this Lorn Fluke ends up. If we need to head east, we will, to avoid it. If we head west, we will go to Polythreme first, since they are both about on the equal, let's see, is it latitude or longitude? The north-south. think that might be longitude. They're both on the same north-south level. Nope, we're back in the Chelinet. That Lorn Fluke is there. We are heading west to avoid it. With our terror rising at unprecedentedly high rates. And I think we're probably out of range for it. We've unfortunately got a very long way to go before we get there. We've already been to the Chelinet twice. We don't really have anything else to do there, so we'll just skip that location. No reason to go there again. Eater of Names, I think, is the ship that patrols around here. Eater of Names. So if we get a combat-capable ship, essentially one with more hull, and maybe a forward weapon, maybe we'll go and contract that ship and see if we can do some sort of damage to it. See if we can take its figurehead there. For now, though, we'll live and let live. Or rather, scurry and hope it doesn't notice us if we come into range. Oh, another Lorn Fluke. Okay, there's another ship. Unfinished Pirates. We may actually be able to take on that, but I don't want to take on that with the Lorn Fluke in range of anything here. Oh, did it notice us? It turned around when we flicked our lights on. I think we are a little bit faster than it, though, so I think we're good. And we should be coming up on Polythreme soon. What is this docking location? Hold on a moment. How's our terror doing? 42. I want to see what this is. There's a dock there. There's no lighthouse ship, so it's not a lighthouse ship or anything. So it must be underwater. What location is that? Is that Hideaway? Maybe? Don't really want to submerge with all these faces around. Oops, want to turn our light off, though, so this ship doesn't notice us. I think we're probably good to submerge here. Somewhere hereabouts. And hopefully our constant companion will not be haunting us because we are a little far out of wherever this is. Dahoot. Oh, we found Dahoot. Okay, then. The beauty of the deep, apparently, is the achievement associated with that. Okay, so what is Dahoot? We do know that, let's see, the white Mollflower will break an illusion at Dahoot, but we don't know what illusions necessary that would be. Let's go see what the Dahoot is. Drownies built a copy of London as it never was, a cathedral and houses and fields of flowers all underwater. The water is cool and luminous, and at the same time it is breathable air. So that's exactly the same sort of... Oh my. Okay, so we have a 0% chance of success to generate this port report. Perhaps we will not do that as of yet. Let's check out the shops. So there's a shop in Dahoot. Very nice. Ooh, and I'm running out of page in my last currently used shops page. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got just enough space on the page to write this down. So in Dahoot, they have bales of parabola linen. And they have that for... they wish to purchase it for 66 echoes. That's actually a really good price, I think. Bales of parabola linen aren't really that expensive, are they? Maybe they are. I'm actually going to look through my undersea economy here and see if they are actually that expensive. That would be a fantastic sale price if it were as cheap as I'm thinking to pick up those bales of parabola linen. I'm not quite sure. I can't quite remember where purchasing bales of parabolo linen is done. Perhaps it's the rarity of them that makes it so expensive. The undersea moaning, though, is definitely a little creepy. It's definitely not nice. I do know we can get bales of parabolo linen for dark drop coffee beans, which is about 38 at the cheapest. So we'd basically be making double what we, a little less than double what we bought it for if we were to go that route, getting them from Irem. Oh no, I see. Bales of parabolo linen purchased in Fallen London are 120 echoes, so maybe not as good a sale price as I was thinking. Nonetheless, we have the possibility to buy them here. Other things we can buy here: fuel, or sell here. But we can also buy fuel at an exceptional price, exactly the same as Fallen London, at 10 echo, selling for 1. Captivating treasure we can sell for nothing, but we can buy with 11 caskets of sapphires, which would be a nice way to get those if we need them for any reason. That would be about, if I recall the Port Carnelian prices, casket of sapphires there is 86 echo, so 11 of those would essentially be like 900 to 1,000 echo. So not the best trade, but it's nice that we know we can get them, should we ever need them. What is it, caskets of sapphires? Yes. The supplies are also pretty well priced. They sell for less than Fallen London, just by 1 echo at 19 echo, and sell for 1 pretty standard sale price. And last but not least, ooh, Drowning Pearls. This is the only other place than the Fathom King's Hold that I know for sure we can get Drowning Pearls. We've got the space for 7. We do need 7 of them. Okay, and they're only 30 echoes. That's actually an amazing price. And you know, by getting Drowning Pearls here, we can actually bribe not the Leopard Clan, the Security Clan, the White and Golds. They require Drowning Pearls as their bribery option of choice. They require 5 Drowning Pearls to get a single favor, I think. So it would cost us 150 echoes for each favor, and probably to lower that we'd need like 4 or 5 favor. So 600 echoes to get let into the Khanate might be a good option. And especially considering this is so close to the Khanate. I will only buy up to 7 for now, mostly due to cargo space limitations. There is no cargo space limitation. Really? Really? Okay. Screw it. We're gonna get into the Khanate. We said 4. We need 7 for our brisk campaigner and her treatment. So let's get 27. There goes our fortune, unfortunately. But we still have a fair amount. We've got enough to get it by. And we now have access to the Khanate, if we can get there. But as for Dahoot, apparently a copy of Fallen London made by Drownies. Let's go wander, look, and make no commitments here. You're only here as a visitor, you don't need a place to stay. Dahoot, City of Peace. Water and air are the same thing here, a betrayal of nature or a truce between opposites. Swim up the side of the cathedral if you like and peer in through its rose windows. You won't be able to make out anything inside. Breathe deep, fill your lungs with a substance cooler and more cleansing than ordinary air. Walk in the gardens with the fish around your knees. Do not ask questions about the king of this place, those will go unanswered. Presumably, I would say that it would be the drowny king that was in Fathom King's hold, but maybe it's a completely different person. This seems very different. This location, this is a very peaceful place, at least from the outside there. As compared to Fathom King's Hold, where the king kind of had a tyrannical reign sort of deal, as far as I could tell. But I guess let's ask a drowny for the latest news of Dahoot here. The town is thriving and full of events. Stormless. The weather has been dismal lately. Hardly a single wreck since St. Aegidius Day. And then it was only a little yacht with a few sailors aboard. And 2 of those were able to swim to shore and didn't come to Dahoot at all. We'll just have to hope for the spell to break. Okay. So that is a little bit different than what I was looking for. That's, I thought it would be a little more peaceful. So I guess it does mention here that it is easy to gain terror in Dahoot, and our terror is 35. So maybe if we went inside, we'd see a little bit more of a suspect area in here. But I suppose, even though it's a 0% chance of assembling this, I assume that's what that means, assembling this, we'll try to generate the port report, but who knows what'll happen. Let's try to assemble the port report, gather information for the Admiralty. Known truths. The more you look, the more you see that you were perhaps not intended to. The cathedral's crypt is a prison. The graveyard is larger than it looks, and the bones are not all buried. The border between breathable water and the dangerous water is not marked clearly. Some have drowned in crossing over, leaving their possessions scattered on the Z floor. But we at least have a port report. Oh, and we gain some clarity as well. Interesting. So this is actually a glamour. That must be what the white molly flower is for. So this is all an illusion somehow. Very interesting. Well, we have at least found Dahoot. We didn't go in, which maybe, well, perhaps we shouldn't have. That is a risky solution. But we now know where Dahoot is, which means the next time we have something awaits us around here, we can go in for reasons of the, let's see, the escaped composer. He wishes to have us help somebody out in Dahoot, I believe deliver a manuscript of music. So we can go in there the next time we need. Now, we are at 14 fuel. These drowning pearls did not take any, and fuel is pretty cheap here. And we're going to use a lot of it heading up and down and left and right. It's just everywhere that there is to head around here. So I think I will top ourselves off for fuel in this location. Supplies, I think we're still doing fine at. We'll top ourselves off with fuel, and we will leave the supplies for later. We'll go on and surface to go to Polythreme, then to Aestival, then we'll see what's in this sort of area, and there we go. Immediately surface here. I don't want to spend too much time at all, especially not with those weird, horrific faces around us. No time at all on the ocean floor. We'll go dock in at Godfall here. No, not Godfall. Polythreme, where the Claymen come from. And it seems as though the Claymen have a pretty good relationship with the Admiralty. The Admiral himself remarked in the port report that if not for the Claymen, he would be delivering his own coal. So presumably they're a workforce sort of deal. We were spotted by something, but I don't think they properly had us. So I want to see what their king is like. He spoke highly of him. And so even though the Claymen are kind of distrusted because they're so open and very clearly unnatural as compared to, you know, normal humans, I'd say that it'd be interesting to see what they have to say here. They're not unsociable, and they're not hostile. I think they're just poorly understood, and thus excised. So, we could carry some Claymen, but we don't have the cargo space to do it, and it doesn't pay very much to begin with. Let's go grab the port report from this location. What lives? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the sea. He's never seen. He makes no treaties with other lands, but there's unrest in the air. The claymen you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not, the maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. Interesting. And it has been mentioned here that if we get an unfinished man, maybe things go poorly. Is an unfinished man dangerous or hostile to the claymen because they are not so obedient, and they're just like normal people, or are they actually dangerous because they're hostile in some other way? We don't know. Either way, we don't have the option here to go and take that because we don't have the cargo space, and I don't think it's a very worthwhile trade anyway. So let's go seek an audience here. Let's see if we can trade our watchful curio and see what's up with the king with 100 hearts. The clay broker, leaning on his copper staff, examines you coolly. The king will see your little friend, he says. No, he won't see you. Not just now. Okay. Well, that night, the hill of Polythreme quakes. The words on the walls uncurled themselves. The birth cries are everywhere heard. As claymen sit up, opening incurious eyes, awaiting their tithing to London. The clay broker waits on the quayside. On the flat palm of his hand, the watchful curio squats, but is changed. Our regards to Stone, is all he says. What? You've lost the watchful curio. You have the wakeful idol. Okay. Its eyes glitter with awareness. Its melancholy has dissipated. Now you sense anticipation. What the heck was that? Who is that? What do I do with this? Is it still in my hold? Yes. What does the wakeful idol do? I can't interact with it in any way. What on earth just happened there? That was unexpected. I just assumed we'd be able to talk to the king or gain some money or something, but now we've got a clay child, basically. And I have no idea what to do with that information. We have never once heard of a wakeful idol. I've got to search our shops here. Our shops and our... just everything. What? What is the wakeful idol? What is it? I don't think I've ever seen or heard of that before. In any location, in any context. It's not on our last page of shops and trades there. And it's not on our first pages either. Whoa, okay. Okay, then. Okay. That is exceptionally uncomfortable. I don't know what to do with this now. I guess it's in our hold. It's another thing taking up space. Cool. We can't assign it to anything? Maybe it's a color? Color of shallow sleep. Blood is shed in an inspired place. Forgotten color corners of home. Shadows are myriad. And the fungal for Cosmogon. I have no idea. How very strange. How very strange indeed. Well, we've got a clay child now. Congratulations to us. We've got, without having a wife or liaison of that nature with anybody, we've somehow managed to have not one, but two children. A snow child and now this clay child. Truly, our lives are amazing and kind of horrifying. Whoa. Big crab. Elder angler crab. Yeah, I don't want to deal with him. That is for certain. I'm actually going to head a little further north here. Just to clear out whatever happens to be in this area of darkness. probably a whole lot of nothing, honestly. It's always good to take a look. Another abyss? No, this is the same abyss, the Ozaquaric abyss. Ah, but we did discover Ewan's Way. And as such, we have also discovered Eyeshaven. Or no, Icestable. Yeah, Icestable. Eyeshaven is a different location. So let's see if we can go get sunlight here. Can we interact here? No. Not with the box itself, at least. Ah, there it is. Fill a mirror catch box. Warning, this may increase your wounds. You're kidding. We have 2 wounds now, and we know that at sea they... Oh, man. We know at sea that they can increase. We have the mirror catch box, but we don't have a way of curing wounds. Let me talk to the clattery air here. Can you heal us in any way? No. Not as far as we can see. What about our other officers? Can you heal our wounds? Now, since you're not a surgeon? No, not you. What about this doctor? Also no. Okay, we won't collect the sunlight. We don't want to risk increasing our wounds. We'll go grab the port report quickly. And I suppose we'll go beachcombing with our Something Awaits Us. So, we can go for a glob of goo. Oh, a remnants of a shipwreck. Interesting. Driftwood or something glinting. I think we'll go for the shipwreck, since that is new. Oh, no. What have we picked up? Fuel. And a lot of it at that. Well, I guess we'll toss that. Topped us off just a wee bit. But we should be good. Okay. Drums of fuel, stamped with the marks of the Royal Navy. Some Navy picket met its end out here. Well, you can find a use for it. 9 fuel. That would have been lovely if we hadn't just purchased fuel elsewhere. But that's all we'll do at Icestable. Now to the Empire of Hands to drop off what's her name? The Adventuress. Oh, the crabs out there. Hunting, perhaps. Stick to the shallows until we can... Oh, discovered Nathan's Bluff. Okay, so we found the edge of that. We'll stick to the eastern side of our map here, since that is where the port is anyway. And perhaps we'll discover something more between us and the Empire of Hands. Whoa! Glorious Dreadnought. Nope. Do not want to touch that. I've been helping you guys out. Don't hurt us. Don't hurt us, please. Oh. One of the other islands, perhaps? Oh, come on. Surely it's not the Dreadnought over there. No way. We've made it to the Empire of Hands, though. I'm amazed that our terror still isn't above 50. I'm very surprised about that. And there's another Lorn Fluke out there. But we now have reached the Empire of Hands, and thus the delightful adventuress. Hopefully we'll get out of our hair. A delightful welcome. The delightful adventuress leans over the rail of the ship, sniffing the humid air with evident distaste. What a filthy, damp little place. Oh well, we shall endure. At the sight of the mayor hobbling up, she straightens. A thin, insincere smile spreads across her face. Ah, you there, my good primitive, she calls, striding down towards the ramp and clasping his arm tight. Now then, I come in search of your first Emperor's vault, and for that I shall be needing a few things. Some of your finest workers and tools and some food. Do you understand me? Oh dear. She's quite entitled, we'll say. Yes, quite entitled indeed. She shakes her head, barely waiting for a response. Food, she repeats. Compreñas? I think that's Spanish. Definitely not, actually, but whatever. Oh dear, I see we shall be here for for a while. Listen, I hear you fellows rather like souls. Shall we discuss that like higher primates? Um, well, she's kind of an ass, but hey, payment for the journey. Barnabas stays to settle up while his mistress negotiates the value of her soul with the mayor. A man with no face. Whoa. Barnabas removes his mask with what looks to be a silent moment of great relief. Underneath is nothing, just a flat surface where his face should have been. Ah, an unfinished clayman, one of those flawed productions of Polytherium that follow their own rules. So this is what an unfinished clayman is. Interesting. If you'd only known that before he boarded. Of course, that's why the adventuress never mentioned it. He silently presents you with your agreed fee, dips his head in a polite bow, and lumbers back to his mistress. It appears she has struck a deal with the mayor. The delightful adventuress will establish a base camp on Fountainhead Island. She welcomes your assistance as one who's proven to be not entirely useless. Well, we're at least rid of her, unless we wish to... unless we wish to talk to her on whatever isle that was. We'll go grab the port report. Now that the Admiralty has been brought up to date, this will be far quicker, unfortunately also less profitable. Dang. Letters from the Wild Weald Court. You write down your latest discoveries and seal them, ready for delivery on return to Fallen London. I suppose we can get a audience here with the civilized mayor. Talk business. Why, yes, of course we shall, but after a cup of tea, one must do these things correctly. A polite welcome, darling. Do come in, the civilized mayor purrs. Whatever can I do for you? The soul of the delightful adventuress sits comfortably in him, a four-souled ape of cold ambitions and few scruples. Okay. Don't need to get supplies. No, I think we're fine. We have 7, and that should be plenty enough, even though this is a okay price. It's a pretty good price. Fuel is extremely expensive, so we won't be doing that. And I will not be selling my soul to the monkey mayor. So I'm just going to head back out. Can we no longer head to the other islands? Maybe that's what the Zeppelin is. Intense work is underway across the bridge. Oh, no. Turned away. 2 monkey guards wielding rifles and rusty bayonets block the bridge. This is not for your eyes, outsider. Avert them, walk away, walk faster. Good human. I guess we can't explore the other islands. That's a shame. I really wanted to see if we could help out the monkey child on that island. I wanted to see if perhaps we could figure out what else was going on there. Maybe that's what shore leave is. That does use there's something awaits us here. Yes, that must be what that is. Or no, Zailing the Empire of Hands. That must be it. Okay, so she said she was here on Fountainhead Island. Where was Blast? I can't quite remember where the child was. I suppose let's go to Fountainhead Island to see what the adventuress has to say there. Ancient tombs and buried treasure await on this island. Splash, splash, splash. The sound of oars would almost be hypnotic if your arms weren't burning so hard with the effort. Right, visit the delightful adventuress's camp. With a small army of monkeys she bought with her soul, she excavates the vault of the first emperor. And we're on Fountainhead Island. Swiftly growing vegetation keeps a thick forest wrapped around variably ancient ruins. Even the yet to be plundered ones are heavily scarred with crowbar marks. So, through the forest, the foliage is thick and unforgiving. Now, ooh, a gift for the monkey emperor, evidently. Interesting. A delightful base camp. The delightful adventuress, helped by her faceless clay man Barnabas and a small group of worker monkeys hired for the price of her soul, works to excavate the vault of the first emperor. A gift for the monkey emperor. The delightful adventuress has already uncovered and put aside many treasures. A small statue among them looks particularly interesting. Nobody is watching. At least you don't think so. It is hard to see, with Barnabas' blank face giving nothing away. Can he see? He seems to be able to, somehow. In any event, he makes no move to raise an alarm as you take the small trinket. We now have a gift for the Monkey Emperor. We didn't actually manage to talk to the Emperor last time. We didn't have the ability to go there. So it's really good that we have that now. Sorry, just got back. What's going on? So we've made it to the Empire of Hands again and dropped off the delightful adventuress, who is a bit entitled. She sold her soul so that she could excavate the vault of the first emperor, and we've just stolen a gift for the current emperor off of her camp. We've also determined that the faceless clayman, the unfinished clayman, is actually her bodyguard or servant, something of that sort. That is actually an unfinished clayman with no face, which is interesting. So let's go and... Well, do we go to the vaults or do we talk to the delightful adventuress? I think we can avoid her. Did you find the other color, the color in Gant? We did not, but we found a Hearthstick who is doing prophecies based on the carving of soon-to-be-dead elderly, like ancient beasts. And so we can now, we have a quest to hunt behemothstashes, phthalates, beloveds, and triskelegans to bring to her so she can do presumably more fate wielding. But she's very, very old, and I'm afraid she's going to die if we take too long. And also, all of those beasts are really hard to kill. So those will be something for a later date. Right now, I think we're going to avoid talking to the delightful adventuress, since this is only available if we probably don't talk to her. And we'll just go to the Vault of the First Emperor here. Its stone entrance dominates a small clearing. A not-so-ancient edifice. It may look centuries old, but this entryway is relatively new. The monkeys can never leave alone, always adding bits on as their whims demand. Yeah, so we've snuck into the vault. This tribute to the Empire's first and greatest has been constructed over generations by monkeys working with stolen ideas of what an ancient tomb should be. Outside the vault, the delightful adventuress flits back and forth between her base camp and the vault entrance. Or we could just leave her. I'd like to go in. I guess we have to talk to her before we can go in. Outside the vault, the delightful adventuress flits back and forth between her base camp and the vault entrance. To rush, darling, is to court tragedy. The delightful adventuress pays barely any attention to you as she prepares. She is not yet ready to open the vault. You should return later when she has had a chance to organize her monkey workers. This may take a while. Okay. Well, nothing more I think that we can do here. Let's return to the boat. Treasure hunting can wait until later. An easy journey back to port. The sea is calm, so whatever might be swimming around in it. No, so is whatever might be swimming in it around here. Can't seem to read today. Let's go to some of the other locations. So we'll travel to the Ash Isthmus. The Fountainhead Island is where we just were with the adventurers there. I believe the Ash Isthmus. God, that's hard to say. Right, what did we call it last time? The Ash Izzy is where we may discover that mischievous child. We won't take our clothes off this time. Or maybe we will. If that does not sound like a good sentence to say. Maybe we will take our clothes off if it is the only way to see that monkey child. That is a horrific sentence to say. Don't take that out of context. Small but perfectly formed, let's go to the Ash Isthmus. The Ash Izzy. A softly spreading wake stretches out behind. The silence is peaceful here. No engine rumbling, no sounds of crew at work, just your own heavy breathing as you row the rhythmic splash of waters. Okay, so we can actually go there. Yeah, we actually know exactly where the Monkey Foundling's hut is since we went there last time. Black beaches give way to an oasis of gently glowing trees and the scent of rotting flowers. The monkey foundling's hut. She does not seem to be here right now. A pair of Pentecost apes are, though, glaring at you with equal parts malice and their useful avarice. Okay, so we can't go there, unfortunately, because we were chased away. The two Pentecost apes attack, snarling and hissing. Their raw ferocity forces a retreat, though they do not follow and press the advantage. Once you are through the trees, the chase ends. Peering through the foliage, you see them quietly return to their strange vigil. So I guess they are the monkey foundlings' parents, or perhaps crew? I say crew, like bodyguards of some way? I wonder where she is, since she's not there now. Quite interesting. Let's return to the boat, I guess. You're not about to let your guard down again? Dang Skippy. Oh, you return to the rowboat. Now you look carefully. You can see the traps hidden in the forest. All things considered, it is for the best that the ghost of Ash Izzy saw you as a playmate instead of an invader. There are both reasons both humans and the smarter apes leave her to her own devices. Interesting. So she's actually a kind of a guerrilla infestation there. TOS, yeah. I think we're good. We're just reading. I guess that wasn't explicitly said, but reading into what's happening in Sunless Sea. I don't think we'll get stuck there. But let's go to Hearthstick Village, I guess. Let's go say hello to the cannibals again. And maybe the Lost Treasure Hunter has something for us to trade for him, as explained here. A cold expanse of water. It is strange, after so long in a real ship, to be so close to the surface of the Z, you could run your hand through it. Not that this would be a good idea. Hearthstick Village. It was not madness that drove these pirates to cannibalism, but years of being shipwrecked without the comfort of meat. After a while, any meat would do. So, let's, we'll not be joining a raid here. I do not want to get another wound. And apparently, even with our absurd iron levels, perhaps not so absurd in the grand scheme of things, but considering the rest of our stats, absurd to me, we would still have a tough challenge on that. I think we'll just talk to the Lost Treasure Hunter here. He joined the pirates to see the Z. Now he just hopes one day to see something he recognizes. Ahoy, how goes your search, he asks. Find anything? It is a voice that so badly wants the answer to be no. Well, we can get foxfire candles for some supplies. We could get dynamite. If we could get a map off of him for a Searing Enigma, but those are very rare. Or we could trade a cask of mushroom wine and Tales of Terror, 10 Tales of Terror, or Z stories instead. But we don't have nearly enough to do that. So, I think we don't really need dynamite at the moment. I think we'll just let him be. And I don't really want to trade supplies for foxfire candles. Shocked at the so few Tales of Terror. Yeah, I sort of am too. They keep going places. Hopefully not into my head. But we'll just leave him back to his search. You have your own treasures to discover. He bids you a good day, and good hunting, of course. Let's go head back to Port Stanton. A smooth, easy trip. Your arms are beginning to get used to the rowing. Well, the last place we have to go is Sovereign Island, and we now have a gift for the Emperor. They still demand a gift worthy of the Emperor to open up their court, perhaps on another island. A quiet yet exhausting affair. It has been a long while since you spent this much time behind oars. Your muscles will be glowing by the time you finish your business in the Empire. Yeah, that's what happens when you exercise. Your muscles glow. So, on Sovereign Island, today the sprawling palace is called the Wild-Wheeled Court. Tomorrow, who knows? The world of the Pentecost apes is one of cruel whimsy, where stolen traditions last only as long as their amusement. Let's gain some access to the courts here. And it looks like that'll probably be permanent by the wording of that. The gates are guarded by 2 armored monkeys that would look adorable if not for the blood on their bayonets. Humans are not welcome without an invitation or a worthy gift for the Emperor. Luckily, we have such a gift. The Wild-Wheeled Court. The stench and heat as the gates open are a sucker punch to your senses. Inside, the stagnant air of the windowless wood palace hangs with a sweat and tastes of hair. Everything is filthy, every surface used. The apes are as likely to swing across the roof as walk the floors. In prized oases of relative calm, the high-souled conduct themselves with the poise of highborn lords and ladies. Around them, their barely uplifted lessers scamper around exhausted, taking orders and cruelties from all who care to dispense them. In the middle are countless more, a sea of apes longing for advancement and fighting for what they have with tooth, claw, and low cunning. Okay, we've got business now at 30, wild wield status of 5, and we've lost our gift. Oh, and we have been summoned for an audience with the Emperor here. So, Emperor Crispin the 4th? 6th? I think that's the 4th. Holds court in the heart of his palace. None may speak without permission, but the voice of the Emperor is still the least heard of all. Summoned by the Emperor, to step into his throne room is to step into another world, one of polished a polished one of cool and blessed quiet that already feels as alien as it is pleasant. An official welcome. The Emperor sits on his throne, wrapped in robes of violet and wearing an ornate golden mask. He remains motionless, silent. He could be mistaken for a statue, if not for an almost imperceptible nod to grant his seneschal permission to speak in his name. I'm not sure what a seneschal is. I guess that's some sort of official. She approaches, arms folded in the red-trimmed yellow robes of a court mandarin. Her expression is carefully blank, the chestnut hair on her face, powdered alabaster white and decorated with exquisite detail in red and black. The rings on her fingers mark her as a 10-souled ape, a status even the Admiralty can respect. She bows before you, a complicated ritual display of sweeping sleeves that somehow never breaks eye contact. Finished, she waits for your response. I will attempt it. Return the bow. You are, after all, in front of an emperor. 35% chance, even if we mess up, we'll at least have tried. A flicker of disapproval. Did you do something wrong? It appears so. Be that as it may, there is business to discuss. So. The great exodus. The exquisite seneschal requests your assistance to supply the Empire of Hand's great work, a zeppelin that will take them to a new home far away from here. Materials for the journey. You point out that the Admiralty has an Empire of Hands both under embargo and quarantine. The only thing worse to be caught doing here than supplying them would be helping them escape their confinement. Have your people not caused us enough pain, she demands? We starve, and you would prevent us being fed. We thirst to explore, and you would cage us like animals. What? For what fine purpose? What threat are we to you, who happily dine with devils? She shakes her head almost with pity. What could you possibly see in us that shames you so? It does seem rather rude here. I say rude. It seems rather cruel to trap them here. They seem... I mean, they do deal in souls, but we deal with the devils. There's no such thing there. And they even have a... maybe not a diplomat, but they have a location in Fallen London. So I think I will accept this commission here. We'll not tell the Admiralty about it, naturally. You will help the apes complete their zeppelin. We'll help you escape. The exquisite seneschal bows again deeper. With a pair of servants to row the boat, she takes you to the zeppelin site in Port Stanton. It was originally the project of a traveler from afar, hoping to travel east who encountered an accident. In his plans and engine, however, the monkeys saw their opportunity. The great exodus will require supplies and fuel, of course, explains the exquisite seneschal. We also seek souls to uplift our brethren that they may join the work. You will, of course, be reasonably compensated for your expenses and rewarded upon completion. She also hints that there may be faster ways to complete the zeppelin. To say more, though, would require a level of trust that you have not yet earned. Well, we're now kind of committing treason-ish. Treason-ish. Unfortunately, we don't have anything of the sort to improve the situation here. It requires lots of supplies, 5 supplies and 10 fuel, neither of which we have to spare in those amounts. Maybe the fuel. Respected visitor to the Wild Weald Court can arrange a more efficient supply of fuel from elsewhere. So perhaps we can figure this out in some way. But at the moment, not that. Perhaps human souls will be the most beneficial solution. Either way, working with the delightful adventurous when locked away to gather enough souls to complete the Zeppelin. Interesting. So we need 99 souls. So I think that contributing individuals is probably not very efficient. We'll have to do at least 10 of these runs and 20 of these ones to get it done if we were to do it like that. Perhaps human souls will be the most beneficial solution. The second weirdest sentence you've said this stream. Yeah. I think we'll just look for the possibilities that we can access here to get them done for cheaper or more efficient ways. So for now, we'll just head back to Port Stanton. You have nothing for the Zeppelin right now. Monkeys continue their work. There's much of it yet to be done. I think that's all we should do here. All we can do. Perhaps we'll go talk to the... No, we'll probably need to wait for the adventuress to figure out her deal there before we can really do anything there. I think I will make my way... I'll probably go across to the other shroom. We won't grab much there, but we will grab a port report at the very least. And then head up to Khan's Glory to get our way, bribe our way into the markets there. And I'm really hoping that our romantic literature is not going to take up cargo space. I hope that that just takes up room in our, does not take up room in our hold and just kind of sits there like with the Drowning Pearls. It is just, I mean, paper. After all, they're just stories. Surely they shouldn't take up that much room. But I think we'll go that way. I don't want to visit... Actually, I do want to visit the Swallowing Isles. And probably not Savior's Rocks right now, because they just creep me out too much. But I definitely want to get into Khan's Heart and all that stuff over there. So we'll go there. Maybe we'll head back down to the Melting Isles for the Admiralty. And then Port Carnelian, Adams Way. Yeah. Remember how we said this was just a set out to get rid of some fuel and then we'd sail back? Turns out this is just our voyage today. This is just a proper voyage. And we are, wow, 2 hours into it already. So, well, let's keep it going to the other shroom with us. And we'll keep our lights off so as not to alert this Lorn fluke to our east. But evidently, there's something off the east side of the map here. The apes said that there was an adventurer who intended to go there, who met with casualty or catastrophe in some way. So I don't think we'll sail off that way. Oh, here's the nightmare. Yeah, no way in heck I'm going to do that. I'm just going to run right away and get rid of our nightmare's menace, or whatever it had been. Unfortunately, even though our nightmares have ended, we have still gained 2 terror for it. So we are getting to the point where it is getting a little risky to go underwater. We may be encountering those, what was it? Constant Companion. And we have very few ways to reduce our terror out here at the present. Now, do we still have in our inventory a firkin of prisoner's honey? I think we do not. I think we traded that off somewhere. Yeah, it looks like we traded it off. So we won't be able to get another Blemmigan, which is all right. Would have been nice if we could. At minimum, we can get a port-to-port. Uh-oh. I think there is a ship to our south down there that spotted us. I think that was what that was. The name Constant Companion sounds way too friendly for what it is. I agree. It is not very friendly. How's the Z-Faring going? We're doing pretty well, actually. We'll finally have access here, assuming we make it good and proper, to the Khanate. We've found some Drowning Pearls, I believe, at Dahoot. We finally also found Dahoot. But, let's see, either at Dahoot or the Gant Pole. So we have enough Drowning Pearls to bribe our way back into the good graces of the White and Golds, and that will get us finally into the markets in Khan's glory. Oh, more restless nights. Yeah, nothing happened. Don't be afraid. Stop dreaming. And now at the other shroom, go grab the port report. We have no strange catch. Trade strange catch for a live specimen. So I guess if we get any more strange catches, we'll be able to do that there. We still can't get the Blemigan Galavanch to explore, presumably. I suppose we'll just visit the village instead. Hospitable? Not exactly, but they don't chase you off with sticks, and they usually let you sit beside their mildew-smelling fire. Oh. Oh dear. A day of spores. The Uttershroom releases spores according to its own inscrutable schedule. Today, the air is soupy thick. They coat your hair, they clog your throat, they gather like sleep in the corners of your eyes. Conversation with the shroomers is impossibly hard. You return to the ship where you find a tiny purple mushroom already growing in your ear. How lovely. That's just fantastic. Well, that was not what I was hoping would happen with that. I was hoping to have a nice little story of boring, non-terrifying nature, but evidently that's not going to happen today. But we will head back up to Khan's Heart. It's just about straight north of us. And then we might head down by way of Port Cecil and the Sea of Lilies to the Melting Isles down here, so that we can eventually make our way to the south edge of the map here. South edge, head to Varkas, see if we can get, finally, our pilgrimage there going. Maybe. And then we will head over to Port Carnelian, then back to Adam's Way, because we need to grab that fellow at Port Carnelian for Adam's Way's people, anyway. I wonder if we can dock at the wreck of Miko, underwater somehow, perhaps. There's no dock listed, and I don't think we can interact with anything just by sailing into it. But I think there would probably be some way of doing it. Perhaps not. Either way, we're out of the range of that Nocturne. Or no, sorry, the Connate vessel here. So we're good over to set off to, not to Hoot, probably Godfall for the port report. You know what we still haven't found? We still have not found Hideaway. And we've got a good section of the Z explored. Like, maybe, I guess it could be somewhere here. I guess it is named Hideaway, so it must be named very accurately. I'm really hoping we can keep our terror below 50, so we can return to Hoot and grab fuel and supplies from there, because it's much cheaper than Con Shadow or any other place here. Really, both Hoot and the Gant Pole are much better than either of the other locations. Oh, and of course there's that Corsair again. He really hates us. He's always there, circling. But we'll just stop off quickly at Godfall. We will go get a port report from him, and do pretty much nothing else for them. Yeah, nothing really else to do here. I hope we're far enough out of range that yeah, he's not going to turn around and seek us. So we are good to head to Connate. We've now reached Terror 50, which does mean that our visits to the underwater areas will be a little bit more worrisome now that we'll have to deal with the constant companion, the giant clicking spider under there. Raidening Bird says hello. Hello. We are just arriving at Khan's Heart here, so we can finally bribe our way in. And we'll turn off our lights, I suppose, since it'll be next to shore for the most part. Oh, I do tell a lie. now, in Khan's glory, we'll go bribe. The Tiaman, that's the one. So we'll offer a gift to the Tiaman. This clan is named for a sizable and ferocious fish of the surface. They have a fondness for drowning pearls and some secret clan ritual. And we need 3 Tiaman's mercy here, such that we can get in. So we actually have a little bit more drowning pearls than we need. An offering accepted. In the yellow chamber by the palace's entrance, a masked functionary scrutinizes the pearls. Yes, she says, even through the mask, she does not meet your eyes. She rises, turns, and leaves. So we'll do that twice more. And now we can we can plead our case here. The Tiaman clan has long controlled the White and Golds, the loyalty service, who watch Kaganians and foreigners alike. If they're convinced your intentions are good, they may be lenient. There we go. The Steel Chamber. 2 masked functionaries hear your request. They confer briefly. One of them marks the paper in front of him. They wait for you to leave. Okay, so we've lost a bit of menace, just enough at 9 that we can get into the the market, the shops. So let's go do that. Let's try not to raise any more suspicion. Yeah, woo! Have you found Nook? Yes, we have found Nook. We spent a little bit of time there, but not enough that Nook will remain with us, luckily. So Nook, we've gone down into the belly a little bit. Unfortunately, we actually got a wound there, which I'm very worried about that escalating. And there have been 2 more instances where we could have gotten wounds if we had done something that we had to avoid just so we didn't die. But that's okay. That's not too bad. But let's go enter into the Nefrit Quarter. Finally! Finally! You have the token that permits you to enter the Nefrit Quarter and then buy directly from Khanate merchants. We've got access to the shops. To the shops! Finally. We can open up our new page here of markets, since we filled up the previous one. Finally. For Khan's heart. And boy, does there look to be a lot of trading we can do. Oh yeah, romantic literature is super cheap too. Yeah, that is spectacularly cheap from the second that I saw it. But let's go list down all of the other trades we can do before that in order. So, cask of mushroom wine. They also want it too. Sweet. Cask of mushroom wine. For 24 echo? No, just for sale, not for purchase. They would like it and they're willing to pay 24 echo for it. Muter salt is very expensive, I think. No, but that's the sale prices. So that's a good thing to have happen. And they will buy it for 56 echo. It's a pretty good price. Royal Blue Feather. This probably comes... Royal Blue Feather. From those birds. There are birds outside of Port Carnelian that are kind of bluish in color. They have a ton of health, so I don't know why this is so cheap. It only sells for 2 echo. But, hey, I guess we could sell it if we really needed 2 more echo for something. We can also sell the Serene Aquarium. I think that is actually what the... Let's see, what is it? What we get if we make something in our study with a live specimen. So I think that's all of the things, the objects we can make in our study here. I guess I think we can now sell everything we can make in our study in some location or another. I think we've listed all of them down. Oh yeah, I think Hideaway's on the eastern edge of the map. Oh, okay. So I guess we've patrolled pretty far down the eastern edge of the map. I guess we just need to like really scan that, because we do have that area, but probably not now. We're kind of on the way back, even though we've come up here. We're kind of heading back towards Fallen London. Maybe we'll do that the next time we're streaming. But back to what we can purchase. It's underwater, by the way. Ah, okay, interesting. We can purchase fuel. Unfortunately, it's at the same prices as Khan's Shadow, so there's not really a benefit for getting it here. Bit of a shame. Supplies. Same deal. Purchased at the same price as in Khan's Shadow. No benefit doing it here. Foxfire candles, I think, are actually lower. I think they're 40 in Fallen London. So they are 30 echoes here. Sack of dark drop coffee beans. Really, you can buy dark drop coffee beans here and then bring them up to the Leopard Clan. And it's only two more echoes expensive than in Port Carnelian, which I think is the best place we've found them for so far at 38 echoes. But hey, I guess if we ever need influence with the Leopard Clan, we've got our location to get them. If we really don't want to go far at all. Bolts of spider silk are also purchasable here, though considering Savior's Rock is, well, I guess it's a fair bit further down, further south. Perhaps it is a little easier to get it here if we needed it for something in the northern half of the map. Especially since we haven't actually gone to talk to the spiders there. 'Cause, God, that would be creepy. That's for 50 echo. And last but not least, another empty mirror catch box, which we've already got one of, which we were unwilling to spend the possibility of having a wound to get sunlight in, especially since it's an illicit good. And that is for 250 echo, which is I'm pretty sure exactly the average price that it costs in most places. But finally, we have access to romantic literature. And the prices for it, very reasonable. 19 echoes. The thing I do wonder, though, is whether or not it takes up cargo space. And I suppose we shall see. Dang, it does. Okay. Let's see. So we need 5 for the Presbyterian Adventuress to finish her thing. And we need 7 for the Merchant Venturer, I think. I think before we do that, since it is an illicit good, we will try and finish off our Presbyterian Adventuress. And then we'll try to get a concealed stash or something like that. I think there's something we can buy at Guider's Morn that'll give us the ability to conceal some of our area. Some of our hold space, I think. But that may be an aft slot equip. So we may not actually have access to that. So we'll just buy 5 for now. That'll leave us some cargo space, which we'll need to fill up with fuel. Maybe a little supply in some location. But we've at least got all of our trades for Khan's Heart. And they're all available. We have access to all of that romantic literature, finally. Yeah, that's great. Oh, you know what we can also do, since I don't think it costs nearly so much. We can get... Let's see here. Romantic literature for the crotchety tobacconist as well, because he only requires 3 romantic literature, and his, Rosegate is actually pretty close to here. So we'll get 3 more on top of that, which will leave us a little bit more space for fuel and supplies. Just the slightest bit, and that's going to be over at Rosegate here. which we can head down and hit on the way to the south area of the map. Yes, I think we shall. So we'll go set out of here. Nothing left to do here. Terror is a little high. Stores are low on fuel and supply and stuff. So, do we try to go to Dahoot and fill up our supplies, or we just try to set across for Port Cecil? I think we will do the latter. Yes, I think we will do the latter. Let's set across here. We'll go through the lamp to reduce our terror pips. And we'll keep heading the diagonal here on the way to Port Cecil. We are, unfortunately, at 50 terror. So underwater visits are a little bit risky. We just have to go to Rosegate. That's the only underwater location that I'm planning on going to at the moment. So I think we should be fine. Whoa! Oh, look at this! Who is this? A stowaway. The quartermaster has been complaining of food going missing of late, and now you know why. The monkey foundling sits smiling innocently behind a crate, mouth surrounded by fresh crumbs in a bed of... Wait, your stolen clothes? Yeah, you seemed fun, she says. She desperately wants to explore the Z with you. Of course we'll allow her to stay. She's been surviving on her own, and she's just a wholesome little kid. We're absolutely going to let her stay. Hopefully, she won't die. I really, hopefully she won't die. Let's let her stay. She can earn her keep doing odd jobs for now. Your treasure needs polishing. Your mug needs filling. In time, maybe you can make an officer out of her. Oh, we can get her as an extra officer, can we? And evidently, we've completely explored the Ash Isthmus with this event. Yay! The monkey foundling holds you tight and asks, eyes sparkling, where you keep the weapons. Of course she does. So does she take up room in our hold here? No. No, she just exists. Is she an officer yet? Yes, and she increases. Oh no, she's a mascot. Oh, that's so cute. She increases our hearts. That's adorable. Okay. Well, that's done. Oop, there's an electric eel there. What are they officially called? Albino mores. Yeah, we're not gonna take that on here, if at all possible. And it looks as though there is some fog, which is most unfortunate. Yeah, so let's just turn off our lights. It's not going to save us any fear, any terror here. Can we get around this moray? I think we can. Where is Port Cecil? There it is. Lots of morays around for some reason. I guess it's not nearly as important that we win the chess games anymore, considering we are done with Aposion. We've already submitted that blue scintillic for the color. I suppose we can keep exploring around this area. Yeah, let's do that. Explore the coral knoll around Port Cecil. Sea laps dark around silvery coral. Humps and columns rise from the coral, a bewildering maze. Go carefully. A raggedy fellow. Sir, I'm a good seaman. I'm yours if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry and I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Yeah, let's take him with us. You could use an extra hand. We're already one down. Hopefully he's not going to blow up the ship. Oh, there may be further effects from this decision. That's concerning. Taking a chance. You won't be sorry. I'll work double watches. Ask anyone. They'll tell you I have a good name. Yes, yes. Eventually you'll get him to stop talking. His enthusiasm is promising, if a little pitiable. Well, we have got the stranger. Oh, A skilled crewman. This is the Zailor who came begging to you for a berth. He's done good work this one, but he's keeping a little shrine to Salt, the nameless god of the horizon, at the back of the hold. Salt has been good to us once. Maybe not the other times, I can't quite remember, but I think it's one of the better gods. And honestly, if he keeps a little shrine, as long as it doesn't affect his work, it says he's done good work, I think I'll permit it. Out here, a captain needs all the help he can get, even from a sad, strange god of farewells. A breath of air. You let him keep his salt circle and his chalked arrow. That night, as you stand on the foredeck, a soft breeze comes out of the east, Salt's direction, and tussles your hair and passes. Apparently this was the event. How much good work could he really have done? Considering he's been aboard for less than 5 minutes. Let's see, do we play chess? 66% chance of success? Sure. Hey, we finally won! A disciplined success. Odd thoughts bubble up each time you touch a chess piece. This one longs for home. That one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This will be a queen one day. Those would do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore these thoughts and move methodically to a victory over your opponent. He blinks. Checkmate, he asks helpfully. We've gained some pages for that. Lovely. 45% chance. 53 terror. I think we're good. Nope. Okay, we looked too closely at the Scintillic chess set. So let's go and set off. Will we buy fuel here? I think not. I think that we will avoid that nature. Let's see. How are we going to navigate this? I think we'll go Sea of Lilies, Rosegate to drop off the romantic literature for the final piece of the underwater cigar. We'll head across to Fathom King's Hold because I do believe we have to go there for some reason. I can't recall the exact reason. I think it might have been our father's bones, which we went to King Eater's castle for. So we'll go across there. We'll head down to Port Carnelian, then back to Adam's Way, up to either the Isle of Cats or Aigle, one of the two, and then to Shepherd Isles, Abbey Rock to drop that off, drop the romantic literature for our Presbyterian adventurers off, and then back home. So it's kind of a odd shape. We're kind of going back and forth, but I think we should have enough. And if we stop in at Aigle, we will have fuel enough to do it, because Aigle, I believe, has decent fuel supplies and at decent costs. And we'll be stopping at Port Carnelian anyway, actually. So we'll have slightly more than Fallen London fuel prices, but still very reasonable prices. So I think that's the path we're going to take here. We will turn off our light because we're in a fog bank and we are surrounded by moray eels for some reason. Okay, I think we should be out. Oh, look, it finally showed up properly. Oh, there's a probably unfriendly shark that's been bound. We're still not sure why they've been bound. I think that was actually a research opportunity, which we tried to undertake but never managed to get. And now we're at the Sea of Lilies. Or thereabouts. Now, I do recall there being lots of morays and sharks here among the lilies as well, so we'll have to keep a quick trigger on our lights. But it looks like we'll go unaccosted for now. I wonder if we'll ever see our chef again. I somehow very much doubt it. He wasn't that great to begin with, but I'm glad that we at least finished his mission up to get here. He gave us quite a bit of stuff, so... Oh. Can we heal the wound? Yes, but it'll take some supplies. You know what? I think it's probably a good idea to heal this wound. Spend some time in bed. It is rarely where you should be. It'll use up some supplies, but we have enough at the moment to soldier on here. So, time the healer, the sounds of the ship at Z, the toll of the watch bell, your eyes drift close. So, we'll go and not rescue a prisoner. I guess we never turned in the port report for this location. So that part, at least, is done. We have no reason to rescue a prisoner, since it is, 1, a high-risk challenge, and 2, unlikely to be profitable unless we've got somebody specific that we're looking for, so shan't do that. And now to Rosegate, which is off in this direction. Ah, there we go. It was just hidden down there for some reason. Okay, so we're just about in line with Rosegate. So are we quite there? Not quite. I want to spend, again, as little time underwater as physically possible. So I think once we get to about this line, we'll go and submerge. And if we hear the creeping, we'll know exactly what and why. Okay, no skittering yet. We've made it to Rosegate. We can create the cigar. Finally. Okay. The creation of a cigar. Actually, can we grab the port report? Apparently not. We must still have it then. Well, let's go create the cigar here. The crotchety tobacconist has a dream to create a cigar that can be smoked underwater, and with your help, it might become true. Bitter, luscious, robust. 3 flavors, and we'll have the cigar. Here is the inspiration for the luscious flavor. The crotchety tobacconist is polishing an already gleaming case. The flavor must be something that'll make the knees weak and hearts flutter. Perfect. The crotchety tobacconist scrutinizes the literature through his pince nez. He carves into pages with a razor. I see. He carves into pages with a razor and carefully extracts passages of worth. I tell you, he says between puffs of his cigar, reading this makes me feel old. Before London fell, I never dreamed of such carnality. Not because I wouldn't desire it, but because I never had imagined the possibilities they explore here. Finely chosen, sir. Okay, so let's go do it. 100% chance of success here for creating something breathtaking for the luscious flavor. The crotchety tobacconist studies the romance's excerpts, their breathless exclamations such as one might utter after a vigorous regime of calisthenics. Sir, I need you to make a poem with these phrases, and I need it to be badly written. Oh, badly written. That I can do. Now, you write with the crotchety tobacconist puffing away behind your shoulder, blowing curdling clouds of daffodil-scented smoke over your page. He smirks as he reads and claps you on the back. Fine, nearly too fine. Enough to quicken and curdle the blood. Excellent work. All right. Oh, shoot, we still haven't gotten that unread log. For some reason, I thought we had turned in an unread log here. Evidently, that is not the case. We also have no idea where to get unread logs at the moment. I think maybe, if I'm intuiting it correctly, we can get them at Nuncio, if we get lucky, perhaps. but I have no reason to think that. No real reason to think that that would work. But now, helping prepare the luscious flavor. The crotchety tobacconist grins at his reflection in the display cases. I've got one of those mushrooms. What do you call them? A brunig. Oh, sod it. I've got one in a jar, but first it'll need to care about poetry. Can you bring it around? Make it care about poetry? I mean, I could try. You spend hours reciting the popular Z ballads of love in Wolfstack taverns, love beneath the decks, and love in the far-flung ports. Eventually, the crotchety tobacconist stops to see your progress. He takes your poem from his pocket and presses it against the jar. The Blemmigan bangs pitifully against the glass. Listen, the tobacconist cries, clapping you on the back. Can you hear that tapping? It's correcting your meter. He cackles, smoke curling upwards from his lip. Well done, sir. We've done it. He's going to cut it open, isn't it? Yes, he is. We can get more, right? That mushroom is at work upstairs editing your poetry. The crotchety tobacconist looks meaningfully at the razor left open on the counter, shall we? I feel so bad about this all the time. I know it's just like a mushroom, but it is sort of sentient. We've got one as an officer, for goodness sake. I won't do this anymore. I'll do with what I did with the Clayman, which is not to kill it, though. I'll let him do it. I won't stop him from it, but... The Blemmigan has used half a pot of red ink editing your poetry. It's so absorbed in criticism it is unaware of you and the tobacconist, and we will refuse to assist. You just won't kill a Blemmigan while it's editing poetry. You just won't. You pass the knife back to the crotchety tobacconist, who frowns sharply. He raises the blade and takes a step toward the Blemmigan. A floorboard creaks underneath him, and the Blemmigan turns around. The tobacconist lunges towards it and drives a knife through its cap. He stabs it again and again. By the end, his hands are stained red and purple. Damn, this isn't the quality we need, he says and sighs. Let me be, sir. Let me have a moment alone. Cultivated a luscious flavor, the taste of Viennese greenhouse. Oh, and we've increased his impatience. Wait, so do we need... No, we do not. Okay. We do not need to bring back another set of romantic literatures. Apparently he didn't like that, though. Shall we buy a crate for the ship? That's a new one, I'm pretty sure. I wonder what it will do if I am to do that. Will it increase or decrease his patience? Because I am very close to having it increase here. And I think we will need to help out with whatever the next set is, no matter how distasteful it is, in order to avoid angering him. Let's buy a crate of cigars for the ship. It's only 20 echo. The tobacconist smiles convivially. I have a flavor that may intrigue you, sir. It's as hearty as any stew. It'll take your mind off hunger. Sure. Oh, I see. It's just some supplies. The dogged apprentice carries the crate onto your submarine. The crotchety tobacconist finishes writing out your receipt. An absolute pleasure, he says, signing his name with a flourish. I hope you enjoy them thoroughly. So we got some supplies for that. That's okay. We did need some supplies anyway. We actually very much need fuel as well. But that is all we can do here right now, or all we're interested in doing here. Nothing of interest to buy or sell. The fuel prices are not very good here, so we won't do that. I think we will just set out to Igel, actually. We'll hit up Igel right now in order to... Oh, that was very close. I was very worried for a second there. Go to Igel in order to top off our fuel reserves at the moment, because they are not doing so hot. Okay, and that is a Corvette, so we're not going to be taking that on. Now, we do have business with the Isle of Cats. Oh, why are you coming after me? You knob. Okay, we'll go and dock at the Isle of Cats, I guess. Whoa, that was exceptionally close. That was way too close. We can ask for a request, or accept her request. She can ask us to finish smuggling some red honey. They're for the merchant venturer over in London. You'll take them for me, won't you? Unless you already have? No, clearly not now. How's our hold doing? Yeah, we got space. I think we can take them. Hopefully, if we get stopped by the mysterious folks over in Fallen London, we can always bribe them. Little expensive, perhaps, but I think we can do it. Smuggling a prescribed cargo of red honey for the merchant venturer. You are hardly squeamish about smuggling red honey. If you do change your mind, you could always turn the shipment over to the Admiralty instead. Do say hello to the merchant venturer for me, won't you? He was such an awful child. Zaire's lips curve into something of a smile. I drank the memories of someone that went to school with him. You must make some sort of sound because she gives you a little shrug. I like to know my business partners. It was Leopold's idea, though. Of course. He's very thorough. Okay. Well, we've got that done. If we had gotten some sunlight here, we would have been able to trade it, but unfortunately we did not. Unfortunately or fortunately, we did not, depending on our wound situation. Do we need to buy fuel? I think we can make it over to Igel. Yeah, I think we should absolutely be able to make it over to Igel. So long as we don't need to burn to escape that Corsair. Oh, come on, really? You can see me from out here? Okay, I think we're good. We could turn off our lights to save some, but with our terror as high as it is, I don't want to do that. Yeah, not at all. So we are outside of Igel. We may... No, I don't think we will submerge on the east side of Igel. We'll wait until we're right over the port, which we do know is somewhere over here on the southwestish sort of side before we go down there. So let's go try to submerge as soon as we get over here. Oh no, wave slap the side of the ships far below something moves. Is that the constant companion? Are we about to get jumped? I'm waiting for the skittering sound. I'm very concerned about it. Okay, so fuel for 12, we can get a fair bit. Supplies, we may wait until we get to Port Carnelian, since it is pretty cheap there anyway. As for Igel, we could explore, should we need. We could increase our acquaintance by consuming some needles here. Or we could do nothing. I don't want to do this. I'm very concerned that it'll kill us in some way. Or put us in a very poor situation. Do heroin with the needle people? I could. I mean, I could do the like first level of it, but I have no idea what it does. It like puts you into a trance or something from what I remember. Maybe it has something to do with memories. And I think we come here in order to get rid of memories from Nook specifically. You know what? At your request, I'll do the first level. Let's consume a single needle of Fortis. Press the spike into your own flesh. Know what it knows. Little worse than a tattoo, surely. Memories layered with memories. You remember a woman who had persuaded herself into a marriage. She never fell in love with someone else, or betrayed her husband, or did any of the usual things. She lived a dusty life and wondered whether she had even had any appetites to satisfy. Faintly overlaying this is the first mate's reaction: pity, annoyance, and a tangle of feelings about a different broken relationship between themselves and the wounded captain. Oh, okay. Interesting. So we can go and drink with the crew now. Presumably, since we are more friendly now that we've done drugs with them. Conversation and cheer, that's what's needed. They've all been here. They tell you stories of what happened that happened to them, and then stories that happened to their shipmates, and finally stories that happened to the shipmates of shipmates. Those people most likely never existed. And the giant face came down from the ceiling of the Untersee, and visage kissed it, concludes the tomb colonist, thunking a tankard on the table. When I heard the tale last, it wasn't a giant face, says the pungent old woman, but everyone falls silent when the first mate comes in, fresh spiked, looking haggard. Well, hey, we got a Z story for it. But we will go buy our fuel. We'll buy up to, let's say, 15? 16. Well, up to 16. That should give us some leeway to go back and forth without having to worry about refueling. As for supplies, we'll wait until we get to Port Carnelian to do that. And we can always buy more fuel at Port Carnelian. And we'll try to surface as quickly as possible so we don't have any worrisome encounters with the creeping mass of horror that is the constant companion. Oh, there is something to our north. Probably another Lorn fluke. Though we're just on the trailing edge of being able to see it. Whoa. Yep, there it is. Oh, does it see us? That's very bad if it does. Because it does kind of that weird eldritch, blast thing. Okay, we are going to burn rubber? No, we've already lost it. Luckily, it only did 2 damage with that attack, as eldritch and horrifying as it was. But we now have reached the Fathom King's hold. So, you can get another white molliflower. We have one in the hold already, but actually, we should do that because the white molliflower is very useful in Dahoot, and our heiress, the Clattery heir, also wants to do a dissection of one. So we'll go trade another Centillic for that. Centillic is easy enough to get. It looks like a fish in water and a flower in air. The Drownies recommend owning one if you're going to their cousins at Dahoot. Sure we will. Sprig and fins. Place it in water if it needs reviving. Crush it and bite it when the need arises. It is proof against seeing things that aren't there, which is the only trick they know in Dahoot. A sniff and a jealous song go with this observation. But now... Oh no! Did that take our something awaits us? Ah. Okay, we can't talk to the Fathom King. What we can do, we'll go up to the Separate Isles, then Abbey Rock, and then we'll come back down here, and hopefully by then we'll have another something awaits us in order to talk to the Fathom King. We'll not get another white molly flower in that event. No, lights off, lights off. I cannot risk that. I'm going to burn some fuel to get out of range, hopefully. Okay, we should be all clear, out of range, and at Abbey Rock. We don't want to deal here right quite yet, but we will absolutely blow the crap out of this crab. We'll blow him to smithereens to reduce some more terror here. And let's go butcher it here to clear our hunger. Could go to Station 3, but there's nothing to do there except, frankly, gain terror. That's typically what happens when we go to that. And we can do some favors for what's-her-face of the dissection clinic over there. I think it's one of the abysses. But it's definitely a scientist of some sort. At the very least, now that we've reached the Shepherd Isles, we can go and trade our hunting trophy for the long box. And maybe we'll actually do both dissections right here, since we do only just need to talk to the Clattery heir to do them. So we'll go compile a port report, of course. We will go trade with a retired monster hunter here, wants something to remember his glory days by. In return, he will show you a secret graveyard populated by curious corpses and curious boxes. The tomb. He takes your trophy and nods. Wrestled one of these devils once. I'd show you the scar, but decency forbids. He leads you to a low cliff. Leaning over, you see a grassy stair cut into the rock. It leads to a dripping cave. Against one wall, coffins are arranged in a careful line. Some la-di-da London family bring their dead here. Sail up in a black ship they do. Help yourself to the oldest one, they won't notice. So we've now got that long box, and that is everything we can do here. Not going to be purchasing anything, or anything, any fuel or supplies or anything like that. But now that we have all that stuff, let's see. Chop up the the long box here, see if you can produce that souvenir. Box delivered to the surgery. She refuses to let you watch while she works on the contents of the box, but afterwards, she is in a dark mood and complains in generalities. People are fools. No one dares face up to what is wrong with them. Hiding secret from yourself does not make it go away. Pretending anger doesn't exist is not the same thing as patience. Whatever operation she's just done, she kept a souvenir from it, but she won't show anyone what it is. She wraps it in cotton wool and keeps it in a little lacquered box left over from the sale of tea. That was a success? Okay, well, we gained a Clattery souvenir from it. Apparently that was the success text. I thought for sure that it would have been the failure text, but cool. And we'll try with one of our white molly flowers here to get this. We could try to increase our pages before we do that. In fact, how many secrets do we currently have? 19? I think we can afford to spend 5 on pages here, which would probably be to... which of these might I talk to increase our pages? Carnelian Exile, perhaps? No, she's mirrors. This is probably hearts. Yes. And probably the same with the doctor here. Pages. Chief engineers, perhaps? Maybe's daughter? Veils. Do I seriously not have a single one that'll increase my pages? Hold on just a hot second. Mirrors? Really? Really? Iron. Hearts. You gotta be kidding to me. Kidding me. Well, that was unexpected. Maybe the Cannoneer? No, he's also iron. How very strange. How very strange indeed. Okay, well, I guess we can't increase pages. We'll just give it a good old college try to see if this dissection works. Let's give her the white molliflower. When you bought it, they told you it would take away delusions, but how does it work? Yep, a failure. Oh, but it did create the Clattery souvenir after all. A study in insights. She draws the creature in both its appearances, as fish and as blossom. Afterwards, she gives you an account of how it works, but you understand perhaps 1 sentence in 10. When you ask her to explain a second time, she takes off her hat and glares at you. Cool. Well, yeah, that's totally worthwhile. We could romance her, but no, I think that's a poor option. So let's set off from here, now that we're all done with that, and say, unfortunately, goodbye to the Presbyterian Adventuress. Before we do, who do we have for gunnery officers to replace her? Just this Irrepressible Cannoneer. She increases iron and veils, so we'll lose a bit of veils. I may actually spend secrets to increase that. Oh, I should check that I can increase it in other places. So she only increases iron. He probably increases... Nope, that's mirrors. Who might increase veils? Chief engineer? Yes, veils. So it may be worth increasing that after she's gone. I might increase it up to 50 here. Because veils seems to be a very important check that we have to do very often. But we can sail over to Abbey Rock here. Finally give our irrepressible... our Presbyterian Adventuress the calling she so wishes to get. All right, and we have something stalking us below, and we've gone and picked it up, which gave us some fear, but also gave us a strange catch. Oh, and you know what? We can turn that strange catch into a something. Into a live... where is that? Where can we do that? I think in the Udder Shroom is where. But we're here now, at Abbey Rock. The Udder Shroom is a little far away, so I don't think we'll do that quite yet. Let's go. Conjure up the beast. Okay, appropriate text. What kind of beast can be conjured with these racy volumes? Perfect. There must be music too, and a fire, and a promise. We can take care of those. We begin at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Sevens are important. In the Abbey courtyard, the sisters are heaping up driftwood for a fire. The adventuress claps a hand on your shoulder. That gives me, what, 12 hours? Come on, let's go back to the ship. I don't want to spend my last 12 hours in this hole. She is flushed, eyes bright, mouth tight. So... we can, wait, I'm sorry, what? What, we can record her memories from her travels, record her memoirs about her homeland, spar with her, or suggest you share a bed. Why is the brisk campaigner, involved with that? I'm sorry? What? Okay. What should we do? She seems like a very, earthy sort. I don't think she would be too... Yeah, I don't think she would be too nostalgic over her memories of her life. Bed? Okay, of course. Yeah, sure, we'll hit her to bed. We'll take her to bed. The last night suggests you share a bed. Perhaps it'll bring her luck, perhaps it'll bring you both luck. Sorry, I've had a better offer. Excuse me? Someone who understands death. If anyone can bring me luck, it's her. A rap on the door is the brisk campaigner. She glances archly at you. Back by midnight, the adventuress says with a grin. We can talk then. She's back just after midnight. Ooh, we got... we got turned down here. You've done the drugs, now you need the sex. Well, unfortunately for us, she apparently had a better option. Well. Oh well. She, Cool. I guess since she didn't want to take us to bed, let's see. Should we record memories about her travels or memoirs about her homeland? She's kind of salty about her homeland, so I think it might be for her travels. No threesome for you, yeah, really not. I think we will record her memories of her travels, because I don't want to spar with her in case somehow we kill each other and then she's robbed herself of a fantastic assault on some mystical romantic literature monster. Let's record memories of her travels. She's crossed the Untersea a dozen times, and many of her crewmates are dead. This is the last chance to preserve those stories. Zailors' tales, a ship of lights beautiful as a palace, until we heard the screams across the water. The hefty cheer rose like a moon, fingers flexing huge as rowboats, the rats singing the hymns of their ancestors until they sank one by one. When the way to the Ragged Crow opened, we went up the stairs together to the light, the days before the dawn machine when the passage was calm and dark. Interesting. Your pen flies across the pages. She talks endlessly, emotionlessly, staring into the dark. She doesn't look at you once. So we've gained some mirrors from that, secret, and 7 Z stories. Interesting. The Before the Dawn Machine, when the passage was calm and dark. So apparently the Dawn Machine is in some way connected to the Ragged Crow. Or maybe it's some other connection there. I don't know. Very interesting. Well, we can either watch or don't watch. She requests that we don't watch. The fire is lit, the smoke of printed love stories rises into the dark. The sisters chant in a language older than London. They play a wistful, halting music on harps and lyres. The adventuress has had her uniform ironed, even her buttons are polished, her knife is ready in her left hand, her pistol in her right. Far above, in the deep night of the neath, something briefly occludes the light of the false stars. Go back to the ship, she says abruptly. I don't want you to see me die, please. I feel like we should watch. Like, I don't want to just let her, go down fighting without a firm... I don't know. Do we obey her wishes here? Maybe we do. We've obeyed her wishes so far. You didn't get to watch early. You didn't get to watch earlier? Is that it? Okay. All right. Sure, we'll watch. Insist someone should bear witness. That is my reasoning. I am not just curious. I'm a little curious, but not enough that I would have done that, and doesn't quite. I do trust her. So let's see here. What will happen? Nothing that flies. The light of the fire turns ice blue, roars to greater brightness. The adventuress turns her back on you. She readies her pistol and her knife. Once I swore, she remarks, to kill nothing that flies. I hope I break that oath. They will be her last words. A piece of star-specked night falls shrieking from the roof. The bonfire is quenched in an instant, but a gout of flame from the pistol punctures the dark. Once again, the night is screaming now, deep, rending cries that are almost words. The scent of ice and ozone is overpowering. You reach out a hand blindly. The darkness deepens, but a sister takes hold of your shoulder. Stay away, she hisses. The adventuress cries out, so does the night. This last shriek squeezes your skull and rakes your brain and tears the words from your throat. It cracks the cobblestones of the abbey yard. In the flames of a final shot, you glimpse a crested wave of night rearing above the adventuress. Its wings are the sky, its horns and veins blaze with scars. It strikes, it convulses, it whirls, but it's gone. Your eyes are hazed with frost, but as it arises, you are quite certain it lurches to the side, as if one of its wings had suffered a blow. On the cracked cobbles at your feet lies the adventuress, dead eyes staring. Beside her lies her pistol, silver-chased, drenched in black blood. As you watch the blood wisps in choking vapor from the metal, leaving it stained dark as the Z. We have watched the Presbyterian adventuress die in combat against the sister's adversary. Oh, we gained a load of terror, but we also gained a searing enigma, a secret, and an outlandish artifact. That was a ton of terror. Honestly, though, I mean, we know something happened. What the heck did we know happened? Wow. Well, it's done. We've led the Presbyterian adventuress to her desired end. Unfortunately for us, we are now in a load of terror. We also no longer have a hunting trophy. So we may very well get mutinied upon here. I was going to go to Port Carnelian and Adam's Way and Varkas and all of that ordeal. I am now thinking that we're just going to sail back to Fallen London. Because that was one heck of a terror boost. And the only real way to get that fixed up is to sail back to Fallen London and get it reduced there, or maybe shoot a few folks on the way back to prevent us from getting mutinied upon now that we're at 90. There's a Jilly Fleur, so let's just sail back to Fallen London. We'll call that good. And we'll shoot at this Jilly Fleur to hopefully reduce some of our terror here. Just back up slowly. Oh, okay. That pushed us back 10 terror. That's very, very, very good. Yeah, very good indeed. We will go grab some more supplies. And we will keep our light as on as we can. Like, super duper on. Another maelstrom out here. Rack is just over here. Lick a Monkey Crag? I mean, I've probably discovered this before, especially considering how close it is and the fact that it already had a name, but I did not remember it being named, anything being named like that. How strange. Whew. Okay. All right, 81 terror. I think we're okay if we just sail straight back to Fallen London. As long as we're under 90, we should be okay. And we are just going to absolutely dart forward to get back home here. Not going to take any detours. How much do you have? I suppose it doesn't say. It is a bit inconvenient that if a ship is like out in a certain direction, generally in the upper right portion of the screen, it's kind of difficult to see their health bar when you're looking for it. Oh, it's a large, gigantic crab. How much health do you have, large, gigantic crab? 150. Western angler crab. Do I fight it? You know what? What the heck? Doesn't quite know where I am yet, unless it does. There it goes. Okay, we'll sail off in this direction. Ooh, is it gonna hit us? Nope. Doesn't have much of a charge attack. It knows where we are, though. We really do need a gun that can stagger. Oh, not quite there. No, we'll need 2 more shots to take it down. So it is going to hit us once here. Oh, or not. Just barely. There we go. That's how you do it. So, let's go butcher it. Grab some supplies off of it. Some other oddities. An unproposing mass. Unprepossessing mass. So we can eat it. Or we can fling it overboard. Ah, 2 supplies. Okay. So we've now smoked it. Edible, if salty, keep it against a hungrier day. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. And it reduced our terror a little bit. So we are now ready to come back to Fallen London. We are almost back. After what we thought was going to be just a quick voyage across turned into a proper voyage across as we went up, down, left, right, here, there, and everywhere. We are just about back. Fingers crossed, without anything bad having happened to us. Funnily enough, if we turn in our port reports up to estimatably max, we'll have actually arrived with as much supply and as much fuel as we had last time we set off. Though with significantly less echo, because we spent quite a bit. Unfortunately for us... Oh, wait. Hold on. Right, we don't have any romantic literature. we do have honey, but is the honey? It's not explicitly listed here. We don't have anything here. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So apparently that honey, I want to recall what it is. All right, so everything happens. Let's see. The vials of red honey. His stuff is too dangerous even to be properly illegal. Be careful in taking it to London. Hold on a minute, but the revenue men were, huh? What? Okay, apparently the revenue men are just like, honey, I ain't touching that. Nothing, not even gonna note you down. Well, we have a shipment here. Ooh. So we can either have the option to hand it over without attracting attention, or we can get 1,000 echoes for it and betray Zaira. I think that it's a better option here to deliver it so that we can keep a good relationship with her, because red honey seems like it'll probably be it's a illicit venture, but it'll probably be a profitable one if we can do it repeatedly. So let's take the shipment from the Lady of the Cages and hand it over, but quietly, no to detract any unwanted attention. Middleman, the venturer hands you a black medallion. Tell the lady I'll send the usual payment by the expected channels. Mostly urchins this time, he adds. The Admiralty's cracking down. You'll be well rewarded. When you return to the Isle of Cats, make sure you have at least 10 free spaces in your cargo hold. Interesting. Black and inscribed with curling symbols. Fascinating. I wonder what that's all about. Okay, cool. Let's go talk to the Admiral. We'll go turn in our port reports. We will turn in our surface reports first. We'll keep our underwater reports in case we have too much fuel and not enough cargo space. We've currently got 17? Yes, 17 cargo space to go. And we will keep Mount Palmerston because that'll get us, that's one way of getting us into Adam's Way. So Port Cecil, turned in. Godfall, that's Ashaven, turned in. Venderbite, yep, also turned in. Shepherd Isle has unsubstantiated rumors, absolutely turned in. Nuncio, yep. Abbey Rock, yep. The Utter Shroom, still yes. The Isle of Cats, sure. Yes, well, we did rather know about his rose gardens. Not good news that they're prospering, though. Really should have nipped it in the if you'll allow me bud, huh? And trading with the Khanate, with the Iron Republic, bother, I may have to have a meeting about this. Polythreme. You want a clay child? I picked up one there. Not on purpose, but you know, if you need one. Empire of Hands. Yep, doing that. We hopefully didn't tell him that we were now working with them, because that's kind of illegal. I do wonder what it was that they did. Everyone says that they know, but I must confess to being curious as to what it was. Oh well, I'm sure their lordship had reasons. So we don't know, or at least he doesn't know, why they have been blocked off either. Why they've been, why they've had a trade embargo imposed on them either. Interesting. Eisteval, yep. Still over there. I am eventually going to make it my kingdom. Same with the Chelanet. How are we doing for hold space? 5 more to go. Fathom King's Hold. He's just doing the same thing. I haven't actually been able to talk to him. We'll go and discuss the stories here, which will lose us some terror. Lovely. Where is wisdom? How do we keep coming across wisdom and not knowing what it is? I've really got no clue as to where wisdom is. Oh, you know what? Judging by that image, wisdom is probably the Sea of Lilies. Yes, there it is. Okay. So wisdom's actually the Sea of Lilies. We just, it's just not technically called that on the map. Varkas. Yep, we're still just chilling. We've got 2 more to go. Should we keep that for supplies, though? Perhaps. Let's see what port reports we have left to trade. Irem, Adam's Way. Yeah, we still got tons of reports to give in. So... Quaker's Haven. The Admiral doesn't open your report. He merely waves over an underling. She pays you, escorts you swiftly from the office. Interesting. Has that happened before? I know that he's been not reading our reports of that location. I can't remember if we've been getting escorted by an underling out. I guess we're just gonna keep all the rest of these. Yeah, not much to do there. Anything to do with the Brass Embassy? Not quite. Apparently firkins of red honey can be given to them, if we do not give it to the merchant venturer. That's the one. Same with crates of human souls. As for Roser's Wharf, you will pay to learn moves in the great game or collect a watchful curio. Do you want an awake curio or awakened curio? What it is? Wakeful idol. That's the one. Because I got one of those, and boy, do I not want it. We could fill up our crew to full. I don't think we will, though, in that event. Oh, the drowning pearls. What do you still need here? Another muter salt. You know, that is actually a short expedition we can undertake. So we now know we can go get muter salt. Let's go double check the locations. I was thinking Mount Palmerston. I may be wrong about that. And maybe another location where you have to get muter salt. So let me look that up. Yes, it's not actually Mount Palmerston that you get muter salt. It is Wither, where you trade it for 5 Z stories. Very doable, though. Yeah, very, very doable. So that'll be a short trip we can take, but I think that will be for next time. We are a little bit over now, over time. I think that's everything we have needed to do done here in Fallen London. Yeah, there's nothing too much else we can do, save rest in our lodging here. And there's that. Some terror taken off, and we can visit our study to go and turn our other captivating treasure into an heirloom. Should we? Shall we? You know what? I think not. I think that we will go and acquire a doomed monster hunter. That's the one thing that we know we can do with it. But for next time, we can go up to Wither, take a short trip up there to burn off some fuel and stuff. We'll go up there, we'll go get our muter salt, we'll treat our brisk campaigner, and then we can get back to the route we were planning on taking down here, which was to head to Fathom King's Hold, to go talk about our father, Port Carnelian, to go and grab the Thief of Faces and deliver him to Adam's Way, and then we can head over to Varkas to finish up the mirror pilgrimage thing that they have going on down there. We're just about trusted enough there to go on that pilgrimage. And after that, we can head to the Melting Isles to go and collect our intelligence for the Admiralty. once we do that, I suppose we could go up to Khan's Glory, grab some more romantic literature, and then, well, after that, we can do basically whatever we want. Maybe we'll go to Icestival to grab some sunlight with our mirror catch box that we got. Maybe go to Guider's Mourn to go grab the either sell the sunlight-filled mirror catch box, or to grab a secret compartment that we can add to our ship. I think that might be an aft slot, so maybe not. Yeah, that's that will be kind of our path for next time, if we can remember it. Other than that, I think we will be done for today. I will be playing more Sunless Sea on Thursday at 3 PST. So feel free to come back then if you want to see me continue my little pathing there. Hopefully we'll get a little further in the story. Maybe we'll scour the eastern edge and find Hideaway. Somebody mentioned that it was over on the eastern edge of the map somewhere, and we haven't quite cleft off that very last section of it. And if you're not just interested in the Sunless Sea stuff, I will be coming back tomorrow playing Stuff Deck Ages. We will be going hard into immersive engineering. We've been kind of dancing around it the past 2 streams, but now I think we were trying to get those immersive engineering multi-block machines going. And that'll be tomorrow at 3 PST as well. So I hope to see you guys at one of those 2 times. If not, I hope to see you out there in the world doing what it is you want to do. Going and finding something you love and doing the heck out of it. As for me, I'm going to sign off now, though. Cheers, everybody.